Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. It's Star Ladder / I-League in the Star Series number 13. And we are getting ready to dive into the third series of today. It's day 3 of Phase 2 action. And, well, it's Team Liquid going against Team Secret here. And, I gotta tell you, I don't have the best production value currently, but I will try my best. Let's throw this freaking thing right on the screen here, and you can see where we currently stand with Stage 2. Group A versus Pro, still in a good position, even though they did drop their series earlier. Spoiler alert against Alliance. We're now going to be heading back into Group B here, where we are witnessing Liquid take on Secret. Secret, as we know, upset yesterday. My goodness, they got taken down pretty bad by Vega, so they definitely need to get a win for a comeback. And Liquid are also down a series, so they both need a win, and we're going to find out if they're going to get it. This is KotlGuy for Beyond the Summit, and of course I'm going to be joined by the one and only Scant. Scant, my friend, glad to have you here. Clairvoyance has stepped out, you have stepped in, and I'm always happy to change things up. How are you feeling today?
Feeling pretty good about this one. I think it's the first time that Puppey and KuroKy have faced each other since they stopped playing in a team together, so I think there's hype about that.
Oh, yes.
I don't think that Liquid actually have much to play for here, like, statistically speaking, because I think they've actually lost 2 series already in the group, so they're going to be bottom 2, because it's top 2 qualifier, and bottom 2, like, have that last chance. So Secret are actually playing to try and make top 2 in Liquid. I mean, by no means do I think they're not going to like try their best or something, but they can't get those guaranteed spots.
Yeah, I may have been mistaken. I said 1 series down, but I didn't refresh the page from the series they played earlier today. And you're right, yeah, they're down 2 series. They're already stuck in a bit of a rut here, but hey, if you take down a team like Secret, that makes you look pretty good. So there's that going for them as well. But yeah, we'll see if they're going to do it. And the other thing to note here, and I was confused by this when I was casting them yesterday, and it apparently is true, that is not EternaLEnVy playing for Secret. That is actually Illidan, formerly of Virtus Pro, I believe. Right now sporting the misspelled name Caffeine Warrior, but that is not Envy. Because I have Envy on my friends list as well, somehow, and he's definitely not here in this game. So
it's not like an alias or.
No, I mean he was in a game at least before. I mean they haven't made it clear. I guess I should have directly asked them. I figured they would keep us up to snuff, but apparently that's not EternaLEnVy, and that is Illidan. I was calling him EternaLEnVy yesterday, but in the lobby as well, his name finished with .Illidan, so I think it is him, but. That's interesting in itself and all good, Scant, but hold on a second here. Did they just second pick a Huskar? And they don't have Dazzle, they only have a Tusk. What the hell's happening over here?
I don't know. It's a different approach. They're trying something out, definitely, and it's interesting because I just finished writing an article about cheese strats in the current metagame, and people talk about stuff like Huskar as being cheese, but when you pick it this early on in the draft, I mean, you're giving the enemy team all the time they want to devise a plan to deal with it, and sometimes I think that when teams pick the Huskar or the Breed or whatever so early on, part of the intention is exactly that, to get the enemy drafted to over-focus on that hero and spend their whole draft trying to compensate for it, instead of focusing on, putting together a coherent plan.
Well, we'll see if it's going to work out for him here. It just seems very rambunctious for someone like Puppey in Secret right now. We don't get to see them kind of pull out an ace so early.
Apparently I got to change the batteries of my headphones just very quickly. I'll be back in a sec.
No problem, man. Get them changed and charged up. Liquid now going to be picking up the 3rd pick, Undying. And, well, adds the bit of aggression they want. It can be pretty good and frustrating for the Huskar, I suppose, a bit, though. If he does focus down the tombstone, it will die pretty damn fast. But they get their extra bit of sustain, and they don't have to worry about an AA on the field. It's already been preemptively banned out from Secret because of their Huskar grab. But now we got to start thinking, I wonder if this is going to be a Misery Tusk, or if they still consider an option like a Slardar, let's say, and creep that in for their offlaner.
I mean, Misery is perfectly capable of playing Tusk, but I think that Secret, at least from what they've shown at the majors, they were rating Slaughter as a top offlane hero. It's actually strange to me that we don't see early banners and they also don't pick it. I suppose the Darkseer has already been taken, and so they feel like, you know, they're in a position where if they want to go for another offlaner, they can. Whereas Liquid aren't really. Liquid kind of tied to putting mind control on that Darkseer. And Secret will start with just the Witch Doctor for now, which is another healing hero. Plus the Cask can be annoying for anyone who's trying to like finish off the Huskar, and you like want to get those last hits, and Cask just keeps bouncing back and forth. Any hero that kind of interferes with the ability to burst and execute fully your kill combo is going to be good to team up with Huskar.
5 seconds remaining.
Have you watched Liquid recently? I happened to cast Liquid 2 series, I think, in the last week, and they don't look that convincing to me. I've got to say, I think they won 1 series 2-1 against Team Alternate, and they lost 2-1 against CIS Rejects and against Vegas Squadron, and I don't know, since the break, they just don't look entirely convincing to me. Maybe they just need to work their way back into things, because right before the break, they won Dota 2 Champions League, and sure, they went to the major, but OG was in that tournament, the Dota 2 Champions League, so it was a big tournament that they won online, and since they came back, all I see is they pick Gyro every game for MATUMBAMAN, and the results are kind of all over the place.
Yeah, and you know what? It sounds like that really nothing has changed in the end, because I mean, I was watching them firsthand at like Nanyang and stuff, and they put up a respectable fight, but it wasn't good enough to get them into that like upper echelon of play. And if things have even faltered since then I'm not too sure. I'm getting reports now that it actually is Envy, so really at this point I'm a bit up in the air, Scant, as far as if it is or not. I know the guy really wants to express himself with different unique names, so he may have just stepped out from his what was tournament account secret, with Envy actually spelled out, and decided I wanted to pick a different account and go. But it certainly doesn't help that his name in the lobby had .illidan at the end of it, so in my defense,
the reason I thought it's EternaLEnVy is because it has the same picture on his Twitter and on this account.
Oh, that makes sense.
But it could be that he's just like kind of in solidarity with Illidan, because Illidan, the unfortunate victim of the current setup reshuffling.
Sorry, I asked for simple things like players use their player names and strike damn me to hell. But here we go. Liquid. Oh, this is a classic for them though. A FATA special. Something we don't get to see very often outside of this team. Not much recently. The Razor grab here. So, what do you think? Pretty good. Possibly going against man mode of Huskar. You're able to sap away all that delicious damage he's looking to dish out. I wager that, they have 3 freaking mech candidates now between Darkseer, Undying, and Razor. One of them will pick it up, and then it may be kind of go time for Liquid, and see if maybe they can kind of outclass Secret with their game plan.
Yeah, Razor's got physical damage to kill Huskar, can steal Huskar's damage, and even just the Razor's passive makes it really unappealing for Huskar to want to ulti onto Razor. So it's a nice pick here, I think, and absolutely, as you said, it's a comfort pick for Liquid, because it's one of FATA's favorite heroes recently, and, well, not just recently in general, but recently has been playing it. In fact, this Razor Gyro dual core has been, I think, their favored dual core to go for in the last week, repeatedly. The thing that I've noticed about Liquid recently, by the way, is that they seem to go behind early on in almost every game they're in, and even the ones they win, they seem to start behind and then pull things together with those fights, and definitely with heroes like Darkseer, JerAx, and Undying together, you can see why that might work. But the heroes here by no means weak in lane stage. It's just for some reason they've been... Maybe it's just because they keep playing against CIS teams. It just feels like they've been getting the worst end of the aggression early on.
Yeah. Got a taste of a little bit of everything else when he went off to Nanyang and everything, but now they've been back into that European circuit, and it can be a violent thing in there, and something that may not complement their own personal play style, or at least something that they're used to. And we'll see if it's going to continue to work here. Last ban going to be the Rubik here. So the response, a Night Stalker here. Adds even more to kind of that high tempo play. And well, what do you think? Restricting that bit of vision could prove to be a bit difficult if Huskar's looking to go on the rampage, if he doesn't really have much of a scope as far as if it's going to be a safe target to jump on, or if the whole team's going to be there waiting behind him. And I'm sure it kind of limits the options here for Secret as far as what do they want to get for their next core grab or even support.
Yeah, I think Secret will be surprised by this pick, to be honest. I think that KuroKy maybe pulled a fast one on Puppey, because seeing the Undying as the first support, you don't expect another melee support. And the Night Stalker does actually come out, and this is a hero that they won't want to play against, I think. It's a hero that no team ever wants to play against, but I think Secret in particular, the way they like to split up on the map, the way they like to like gain farm
10
advantages
seconds
and
remaining.
fights, don't want to be against that extra vision. And well, look at that, they get their own vision hero, and this is something we saw them do I think once or twice the Frankfurt Major as well. If the enemy team's going to have that unfair vision bonus, we're going to have one too.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the pieliedie bounty hunter, tried and tested.
I can see both these teams really farming up fast and being a problem in the mid game, where I anticipate the fireworks are really going to start flying around, especially if this pieliedie bounty hunter is able to kind of go off to a good head start. And that adds a lot of pressure for someone like FATA. And is he going to have the help necessary there? We don't really know a Night Stalker Undying to continue to float around this mid lane and be that babysitter a bit. They're usually off trying to get, you know, other work done. So is this going to be a bit of a problem for Liquid in their early laning stage? I feel like that's going to be a very valuable time
10
for them. And if
seconds
it's
remaining.
kind of shortchanged at all, they could run into some serious problems.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, well, the biggest concern for me for Liquid's early laning stage is that I don't think that their heroes are that mobile in terms of switching around lanes. And I mean, Night Stalker once the night comes, sure, but they're gonna have to decide very carefully how they lane things to start with. Whereas I think the Bounty Hunter or the Witch Doctor could move around the map and adjust according to where they need to be for the side of secrets. And based on that, I think Kuro TPs to the mid lane early, gets his quick ward up. It's going to give some scouting. They'll probably see who's going to come to the top lane, give them information about the lanes, and be able to adjust accordingly.
Yeah, that kind of ward just leads me to believe that maybe they actually want to get in a bit of a fight at the start. If not, it always provides that extra bit of intel, and they can adjust their lanes accordingly, of course. But and that may be the case here, as most of them have migrated now to the bottom part of the river, and it looks like Secret are just going to overwhelm themselves up here at the top. So with that, trying to see, doesn't look like anything's going to be too fishy with the laning set up here. Is this just this mid lane Huskar?
30
Oh no,
seconds
Wee's here,
to
of course,
battle.
going to be playing the Wind Ranger. All right, fair enough.
Pieliedie could die. He could die early on. There's a dust on the Night Stalker, and I don't think you always expect it. It's also kind of like part of his job description when he plays this roaming bounty that he gives up a few kills to make space early on. It looks like Liquid's all headed to the other rune though, and he'll probably get information on that dust.
They want that fight. They already have 2 ion shells out, and oof, what a soak right there. He just got three stacks from that one nuke. So KuroKy definitely ready for a fight if one's going to be presented to them. Wouldn't you know it, Weehawd just steps in, takes the bounty rune under his nose, turns around and walks away. They got both runes there at the end of the day.
Yeah, so always a good start getting both bounty runes. And actually having one of them on the bounty hunter I think is very important. It's not something that we see happening that often, but bounty hunter's level 2 is much stronger than his level 1. Once you have the Orb of Venom and the Janata online, you really are a threat to weak enemy supports. That said, Liquid actually don't have particularly weak enemy supports. Both the Undying and the Night Stalker are both heroes that traditionally actually play in the off lane because they're so strong early on. So it might be that he ends up targeting the cores a bit more, MATUMBAMAN, or moving across the mid lane. But for now he's actually just getting that solo XP. Misery's actually started a pool, and they clearly prioritize pieliedie getting that very quick level 2.
Yeah, and then they could probably do a bit of a swap at that point, but man, mind control. Real hard time for a minute. Look at this. Envy's just like, don't even think about coming out of there, coming close to these creeps. Now he does decide to go man mode a bit here. Ion Shell gets the surge. KuroKy's nearby, dishes out a bit of damage here, and look like the Envy baby in trouble. Oh, he's got a salve. Pops it up a bit. Take peek. Can he eat his way through? He's trying to. He does. Hops out the other side. Oh man. Well, he wants it. He wants it. KuroKy running in. Got the former teammate down. What a smack on the ass right there. We'll take him apart. And he returns right back the other way. First blood.
That's a big loss as well. It's on Envy's self and all of his tangos, and he still goes down. Meanwhile in the bot lane there's aggression in the opposite direction. Looks like Liquid's actually under threat here.
Yep. Now a committed snowball. JerAx pops out the dust, so they maintain vision on Pi, but he's going to be losing his own life, it looks like here. Envy even rotating to the bottom lane now. Oh, look at that. Shard block. It looks like they might be able to make it a twofer. One more. They got it. That flame should be able to tick him down to
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
not death. He's holding out. He's got the tango, and he's good.
Yeah, just barely not killing him, but that's what I was expecting. After EternaLEnVy burned through all his regen and died the top lane, it's like, okay, forget about this aggro lane. I'm going to the safe lane, guys, because Huskar's a hero that really needs to get a good farm early on. You can't have a Huskar on a lane that's being like too contested, because otherwise it kind of like defeats the purpose of the hero, especially in this game where he seems to be a key component in what their game plan is going forward.
Still waiting out here. Bottom lane has been very eager and hungry to soak up the XP while he can, leaving Misery kind of out in the back, but they've changed up the lanes a bit. Envy is here, but they still don't seem to be quite comfortable with the way things have been set up. KuroKy continues to be on the move. He's still level 3. He hasn't really even found a home for himself, but just being a part of all this action and everything, he has found a good chunk of XP. Yet to really spend the points, whether he needs to pull out a quick soul rip or commit to a tombstone.
Yeah, reminds me of there's a classic video of Ice 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 Roman diving someone at level 1 at their tower and killing them, and it's because I was saying during the draft, like, they're a bit limited in their early roam, but Crow's just made it work, walking around the map, doing all the things. I mean, he got those early boots, that's helpful. He got that early kill, and yeah, as you said, he's gonna take whatever he needs when he needs it, and he's not gonna be that scared of pieliedie right here.
No, just gets off a free bit of strength and turns back out. And if he's happy to keep pieliedie kind of juggling with him a bit, if he gets the attention off the lane, because Envy can't feel comfortable at all doing the lane solo. In fact, he's coming over, looking to participate in this kill on for Kuro. Can he get it? JerAx and company are coming to help out, and Envy's going to be going down. They made that look rather easy. They still have the slow and the dust vision for Pi, but do they have follow-up vision? They don't need it. They just shrug him off with a quick rocket barrage in the void. And it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade. Advantage for, well, Team Liquid.
Part of the plan for pieliedie to die usually, but not part of the plan for EternaLEnVy to die, and he's had 2 early deaths here. Also, pieliedie had 2 of his own kills before he died, so it's not as... Usually when they throw away the pieliedie deaths early on, it's not that big a deal, but he's where the money was at on his team to some extent, so it's significant that he dies as well in that case.
And what lane has been rather quiet up to this point has been mid lane, but top just doesn't stop. Mind control going to get blocked out. Back of his surge going to be finished off, so they get the snowball. They're looking for one more right click. They can't quite get it. He gets the salve off. They're going to cancel the salve. pieliedie still wants it. Another one. And look at that. He still will go down. Shuriken toss is going to be there. The exchange is going to be Misery. And it will be split one apiece. High action game here. Already 7 kills in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Interesting that JerAx decided to go for that early points and crippling fear to help make a kill. He's now got his first points in Hunter in the Nights, but he's leveling at a pretty good rate, and I think that's a little bit scary when you have a Night Stalker getting those levels on the support role so early on, because again, it's running support Night Stalker plus Undying, something you could be punished for, but so far I think Liquid's the one that's doing the punishing mostly.
He's stalking out this top lane, but it's Secret who kind of pulled more hands on deck. Envy making his return back to top lane now. But they are just working with the pull camp as it stands here. And they'll trade up a bit. Mind control just trying to take the control back and is getting the assistance, and they've just taken this wave over. This is a really tough early game for Envy's. 10-1, and you want a Huskar to get online and get online fast. One to typically get a timely armlet in, like, what, 7-8 minutes if you're having a good game. And it seems like it's going to be quite late in this one at this rate.
Yeah, Huskar is just not really a recovery hero. It's meant to be a hero that's putting the pressure on the enemy team, not one that's trying to deal with the pressure on it. Obviously, they do have a bounty hunter, which means that at any point in the game, they get a good fight, a bunch of track kills, and suddenly, like, the whole gold dynamic changes. Bot lane Misery's trying... Yeah, I think he's fine. That's a good snowball away, actually.
Snowball out, what a hero. And he gets the trap onto Kuro, and he's stuck under the tower. He's going to be forced to just TP out. Back to tower. Nice play for Misery. And he'll be able to possibly
it's only really Weehaw.
Easy gold, 100 gold for the tombstone. Oh, and it doesn't stop
Top
yet.
lane, EE is dying.
Yeah. Oh, EE is tying top, but bottom lane, they're also making it go. MATUMBAMAN, Gyrocopter uppercutted and will be taken apart. And as you said, at the same time, EternaLEnVy gets jumped top lane. What happened there?
Yeah. They literally just ran straight at him. Double Iron Shell, Night Stalker slowed him, and he couldn't handle the damage. I was gonna say, Weehaw is the only one who's really having the early game that Secret want to have. And that's, I mean, Wind Ranger can do a lot, but it's tricky. She needs to make kills. I mean, she doesn't, this is not a hero that has a good lane stage and then snowballs with the farm. Needs to be able to actually like get kills to ramp it up around the time just before, just after you get that Agnum Scepter. And I think that Huskar was meant to make some of the space for her early on, so there's going to be a lot of pressure on Wii in this game, since Envy starts has been so poor.
Yeah, I don't know, because at their exchange, you know, all the meanwhile, this Gyrocopter has a pretty good time. He did go down just recently, but he still holds a top 3 net worth. This guy's power treads. He's definitely further along than where Envy is right now. And they still have FATA even to back on that, you know, back up that. So while Wii is trying to look to step in, he'll have a couple people to have to deal with here. But look at this, they might get a good grab here on the Kuro. Nice shard block, follow-up Walrus punch, but look who shows up, that MATUMBAMAN, and he just slaughters through both of them. They will take down Kuro, but they lose Envy again, and they will lose Misery here to the hands of MATUMBAMAN.
Yeah, I was gonna say before, Envy was actually the lowest net worth until like a minute ago, and part of that's that he's at a poor start, but it also tells you something about the rest of the heroes in this game. That Liquid firstly are running 2 reasonably greedy or involved support heroes, and Secret of the Bounty Hunter doing a similar thing, and the Witch Doctor Puppey just happened to have stayed in the same lane for a really long time, and most of the heroes in this game haven't. And so there's actually quite a like decent spread in the early net worth, with not really like anyone very clearly falling behind, and only really the 2 or 3 front runners at the front.
They know JerAx is there. They pinged him out. Weehaw had been waiting for him, and when he shows himself, he gets a beautiful shackle and takes him down. He almost goes down himself, but here is the re-engagement from Secret. It's enough to just muscle back FATA a bit, but that was a nice counteraction right there with the help of the vision. And he seemed to get a little glimmer of vision there. He pinged it out, and he was ready to go.
And the first track kill of the game, right?
Oh yeah, yummy.
So that's where it starts, and that's, I mean, I said there will be pressure on Weehaw this game. EternaLEnVy's game's not starting the way it is, but actually pieliedie could be the hero for Secrets. If he keeps making track kills for them, all of a sudden we will forget about the fact that there was a problematic, and if he starts them, or pieliedie gets dusted at the bot lane, but they've actually missed him, ran straight past him as they dusted him.
Oh, and they
just
missed mid lane too.
Obscuring their vision.
At that same moment, they had missed a shard attempt to catch out FATA. Mid lane. Check back, probably a little bit of damage, but both sides will miss opportunities there. And they could converge possibly at the river. Nope, Misery doesn't want anything of it. And, well, as the game progresses right now, I mean, you can't help but things are just going to continue to get better for Liquid. They seem to kind of have the number all over, and where Envy tries to show himself and farm up, trouble could be nearby. Right now it's top lane, and he only has to worry about a Darkseer who's trying to find a bit of his own equal farm. Got to, of course, get the level in the wall eventually and some vacuum levels going, and he's going to be the mech candidate. Is it at that point, Scant, when he gets mech, that it's going to be go time for Liquid?
Yeah, probably. I think so. That's where they group up and start doing things. Also, we'll probably combine with the next night, roughly. No, maybe not quite. Well, pieliedie, actually, look at that. Double track Shuriken to harass from long range. Really trying to do the most he can on this bounty hunter, recognizing that he's the one who's got an extra value on his team early on in the game, and usually it's inverted where, you know, they've prioritized Envy, pieliedie's actually died to make space. But there's certainly something to be said for an over-leveled bounty hunter early on in the game, and I think it is possible for that to be a problem for Team Liquid, and could even preempt their, you know, get the mech group up kind of thing if they lose a few kills before that happens.
Right now, though, they're sieging a bit on bottom here. He has his early start with his phase and null, but we wager he will be going right for the Agnum setup. And it's one of those things like Wind Ranger is just going to do her job. She will be able to creep in a couple of kills. Right now, sitting at 2-0, but there's no real way to stop her. And next thing you know, she turns on you. She gets the Agnums together. She gets some respectable damage, and next thing you know, she's in pursuit of you, and you have no answer for it. And well, to respond to that, it's going to be Liquid trying to kind of peek before she has that opportunity to be a real late game problem. And you never know. Envy could also find his way back into some farm. Bottom lane, MATUMBAMAN committing in with the call down. It's going to be a swing and a miss, though. And pieliedie, of course, not going to be detected out. Or will he? I just say that, but he heads right back to JerAx, who gets off a dust. And he almost gets him down here, but it's not going to be enough. Step back from Wii will help him out with a good shackle shot. Follows up Void, but I don't know if this kill is going to be happening. Oh, wow, even a cheeky little shuriken. Look at back over here now. FATA keeping away from trouble. No! Gets caught out with a snowball. Walrus punch.
Radiant's top
EnVy
tower
there
is
and
under
involved.
attack.
This one won't have a Trek kill attached to it. And it looked like pieliedie was also able to kind of make it away.
Radiant's bottom
And
tower
of course,
is
probably
under
the
attack.
major reason we see the Huskar pick so early on in the game
Radiant
is that
structures are
it is a really
fortified.
good pick against the Gyro. The Gyro was the first pick for Liquid, and I think that Huskar, even if he's a little bit behind
Dyer's
on
middle
farm,
tower is under
will
attack.
always be winning those 1v1s against Gyrocopter. It's quite difficult for Gyrocopter to finish him off because the Rocket Barrage is magic damage and his attack speed's pretty slow. So if EternaLEnVy can kind of, I mean, it looks like they've stemmed the blood flow. It looks like, you know, if he stops dying, keeps farming, gets a couple items, might actually be back on track even without the track kills.
Yeah, that's a very real thing, and they really haven't posed much of a threat to him directly since the start of the game. And now you have him and Weehaw both farming here. And MATUMBAMAN, who wants to be a bit more proactive, it seems. Certainly him and JerAx are constantly on the move, seeking some opportunities here. Looks like he's going to head his business top, but Kuro's in trouble. Snowballed up, Misery and Pi make their move in, and they're going to get free track gold split between all of them. Very, very nice.
Yeah, so I mean, the only thing they could hope for more is that EnVy is near enough to get the track gold, because he's the one they want to boost back up. I actually got a message from Knoxville telling me it's the 4th lowest EternaLEnVy's net worth has been this year at the 10-minute mark. So yeah, definitely a standout start to the game, but as we've discussed, I think he can definitely recover. Well, in the meantime, Weehaw might be in a little bit of danger. He's trying to turn it around.
Oh, but Misery helps, comes in from behind, hits him up with the Walrus Punch. Calldown's still going to come out, but the damage had already been done with the help of Puppey and his Death Ward. They will get the Gyrocopter down, and they are looking to retreat from FATA, or are they? A turn back comes out from Misery, gets a nice shard block. Kuro looking to come help out, can't get the soul rip off because he's shackled up. And that means that he could be going down as well. It could be a 3-man takedown here for Secret. And it looks like it will be. Walrus Punch is there. Misery gets another shard. And it's over. Puppey, killing spree for him. A huge turnaround for Secret. Nicely played. Everyone in attendance when necessary.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's a calm poise by Weehaw to kind of, I mean, he didn't get afraid. Gyro and Razor running him down. He could get burst on pretty fast. He's like, I'm gonna hit a shackle, my teammates are coming. Hits another shackle afterwards. So he's doing the work his team needs him to do so far, absolutely, in this game.
Looks like JerAx got himself out of what could have been a sticky situation there. Got himself back to safety, and Secret will resume their bit of farm, and Liquid might have to take this moment to step off a bit. Or if they want to come together, I mean, the mech is done. And bottom lane, vacuum back, surging up FATA here. And oh, he's going down Deathman's alley right now. With a Razor on your butt, yeah, you're not doing anything there. Easily just whips him down.
He stayed to finish the tower, and it wasn't denied. So you might argue that it's worth it for Puppey to go down to make sure the tower doesn't get denied. He didn't get the last hit, but it wasn't denied, and I think that's significant. It's quite a lot of gold.
Mid lane, a always deceptively looking wounded EnVy Huskar will continue to farm up, and Wager probably soon going for the helm of the Dominator himself, and he's forming up to get back on quota for where a Huskar needs to be. They're not able to kind of address him at this time, but Liquid are still thirsty to do something here. They're scouting out this mid lane, but Secret, what looks like already a step ahead, in a good defensive position out and away. Now they are putting out someone mid lane. Pi gets off the track, but he could walk himself into trouble. Did they have a sentry down right here? It doesn't look like it. Now they drop one. They'll see Pi. Liquid looking to make a move in. JerAx pops the Nightfall. Snowball comes out from Misery. They're looking to bring him back. Call down could be right on their head. Puppey dishes out a big enough a Death Ward, but it's going to get canceled out from the vacuum of mind control. And now Liquid looking to move. A good shackle on the FATA, but MATUMBAMAN ends up cleaning out 2 already. A double kill for him. What a snipe. They're able to get the grab on pieliedie. That's 3 down all day. Liquid step back, finish off the tier 1, and now will advance on forward.
Yeah, that's that group up you were talking about. They got the mech on the dark side, they have the tombstone, the cooldown, and just throw in some Nightstalker vision, and it's pretty terrifying.
Oh, EnVy.
They're going for more.
They want it, they got it. He goes down, just caught out front. Ooh. Power shot almost gets JerAx there. Liquid are unfortunately just a little too beaten and battered to be able to continue their push in the mid lane, but very, very satisfied with the turn of events in their favor. They came together at the game plan and it worked out. So It's just a matter of them holding this, continuing to build up their next item, and keep the pressure up. That's about it. I mean,
Yeah,
it looks like they're going to be able to help out by FATA. Is going to be building into a BKB. Or no, he's going to go SNY. SNY.
The really tricky thing about EternaLEnVy being under farm is that I feel like as a player, I mean, it's arguable that he's the best carry player in the world at the moment, but a lot of that has to do with farming really efficiently and making good choices about which items to buy. And when the farm's not happening, when you don't have the choice making to do, I think he has the tendency to maybe get into a position where, you know, he's not used to making those. He's used to making decisions about what I optimize, how do I do this, not like how do I damage control, which is really what he's had to do in this game so far.
Dire structures are fortified.
We'll have to see. Put in a position like this where he's having such a slow start, the recovery, the dedication is something to be admired, and we'll see if he'll be able to take care of it here. But mid lane, he could be running into more trouble. Or he's surging on forward. Mind control gets a vacuum back, and they pincer him off. They put a tombstone on one side. He just jumps, flips on forward, and says, "See you later." Walks up and away. Coming up short, Liquid not going to be able to get the grab on the Envy this time.
Yeah, I was wondering there for a second, is he trying to fight there? No, it's just an intelligent way. Use your ulti as a blink, and then track comes up, get that speed, run away.
Very heads up. Something I certainly would not think about. That would have been me dead for sure, but he has the heads up, uses the ult to step out, and now they see an opportunity maybe to go for mind control there. No catch is going to be coming from the shards, and now they're considering re-engaging here. They have vacuum wall ready to go. And look at this, pop of Nightfall, they're on chase. Misery trying to slow him down, gets out the shards for a bit of a block, and they thought their opportunity was going to be there onto Envy, but instead they get an easy grab on the side. Pieliedie going to be going down, the rest is secret. They're on retreat. No vacuum will come out, and well, mind control. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the right spot. He misguesses this time, but Secret will lose one.
Oh, Pieliedie's got, sorry, Weeha has just finished his Aghanim Scepter, and Pieliedie does have a medallion. I see Weeha and Puppey smoking towards the rush pits. I was wondering if, EternaLEnVy was also in the smoke, so that's the play. They're not going to have the medallion, and I think that, yeah, Nightstalk is probably going to run.
He's running into trouble. Oh, it's a 3-on-1 suddenly. JerAx, yeah, nope, that's not a fight you can take. He's out.
Well, he can probably guess, yeah, he's not, the pings come out, he can probably guess that was a smoke to the rush pit. And now probably Liquid will be aware of the possibility of that sneaky rush attempt in this game.
And now you can see their attention shifts. Most of them migrate to the lower part of this map, and Secret can make a safe bet that they're going to be waiting on the other side, and we're going to see that typical kind of Mexican standoff we usually do around this Roche pit. Definitely Secret want to grab it up for themselves, but Liquid know that they have the opportunity for a great team fight. They already got the Alpha Wolf to help kind of scout out the pit itself. I don't know if Secret can afford a lot of time just dancing around here, hoping that, you know, there'll be a window where they can sneak Envy in.
Puppey's finished his Glimmer Cape on the career. It's not on the way to him just yet, but it's an interesting choice considering the fact that they have a Bounty Hunter anyway. So Liquid have been running Sentries and Dust pretty much all game. So you might have been tempted to go for the 4 stuff instead, but the Glimmer Cape value when it does help, even just for the spell damage, is huge, and Weeha runs straight into trouble.
And yep, it looks like they'll catch him on the way out. They got a vacuum and they got him down. And yeah, you know, just to go on that, they always also have a vacuum to easily cancel it. Now, it could throw him off a bit seeing only the death ward, I suppose, and they won't know exactly where he is, but it could be a bit of trouble. Long ball coconut comes out from him, connects on the JerAx here. Misery going to hit him with the Walrus Punch. And, well, they're not going to be able to follow up. He's just going a bit too far and away, and Secret don't like it. So they'll step back, but they might see a new opportunity here, maybe on the mind control. He steps away with the stun, long shards, and nope, another shortcoming for him. They're just dancing with each
Liquid's
other.
rushing.
Yep.
And that's, yeah, there we go. Eliminate the possibility of the sneaky rush by just taking rush yourself, picking up the edges, and it's looking tricky for Secret. I mean, we've talked from the start about the fact that EternaLEnVy's behind. It's not good for him, it's not good for Huskar. But also, I don't know, it sort of plays to the favor of Liquid's draft. They want to group up, so the Bounty Hunter's not going to get that much value in terms of pickoffs. Bounty Hunter is essentially just going to be counteracting the Night Stalker. Night Stalker turns on Knights. You can't see a lot, but at least you've got the track. But where does the damage come from? I think Weehard needs to be using his ulti. They need to be hitting shackles and ulting things with Weehard. Weehar's ulti will take heroes down, but everyone else in his team needs to somehow protect him while he's ulting things.
But is that even enough? You're looking at a team who's got the mech, they got the soul rip, plenty of regen, sustain. Hell, they're just tanky enough as it is. There's no like really easy target here. But they're going to make a go anyways here on MATUMBAMAN. He is the Aegis holder, and they're not going to be able to bring him down, and there the sustain begins. Let's see if they're going to be able to get some structural damage here on the tier 2, or if Secret are going to have an answer for them. I'd have to say I still feel a lot more confident with Liquid in their team fight. And Secret may need to just hope that Liquid could overextend or slip up in some way.
Yeah, there's certainly potential for Secret to outplay. They've got the armlet toggling, they've got Tusk that can dodge things for people, big shackle shots, mass shurikens, casks of, you know, just crazy casks. And E actually jumps in on the Aegis.
Yeah, it's an Aegis, all for an Aegis here. They might not even get it. A vacuum back, he begins to toggle. The wall drops on his head and he goes down. Puppey gets off a respectable death ward, but it's not nearly going to be enough. It will cost him his life. And with 2 down, Liquid easily going to be able to move on forward and do some work onto this tier 2. Things getting possibly a little nauseating here for Team Secret. This was supposed to be a point for them to really build up on back of some track kills and hopefully a snowballing Huskar, and things are just not going to plan as it is right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's meant to be this idea in Secret's draft, which is one of the weaknesses of Bounty Hunter often is that he doesn't do enough of his own damage output. Like, sure, when everyone's tracked, you can shuriken and bounce it between them, but usually when you have the supports, you get the track, and part of to justify it, you have other heroes to deal damage. Well, speaking of those other heroes, it's Wind Ranger's got to run away, running into more heroes than she expected to find.
And we'll be able to at least sidestep for now. And yeah, it begs the question. I understand the... Okay, hold on. Misery moving in, trying to get MATUMBAMAN here. No shard, only the Walrus Punch for now. Look at the turn back coming out from Gyrocopter. Call down. Misery's in trouble. Misery to go down here. Now, they were able to get the catch onto JerAx. Almost Misery getting away on the back of that Glimmer Cape, but it's not going to be enough. MATUMBAMAN could be stuck in a bit of a pickle, but he still has that Aegis. EternaLEnVy goes down again. Now the Aegis will be expended for this. Weehaw looking to TP out. He does make it away. Puppey not going to be so fortunate. And another 3-man drop on the side of Secret here. They were chasing out, hoping for an opportunity to show itself, but again, Liquid came together. Their team fight just continues to be that much more stronger. And you know, and just reflecting on even the note of the Bounty Hunter, it was their last pick, and as I said, it was going to be a comfort pick for them, but we know Bounty Hunter does not be that great in clumping team fights where teams want to kind of do any sort of death ball.
Yeah, it's fine if the rest of your team does what it needs to and Bounty Hunter just adds tracks. That's kind of where it's ideal. But the problem is being able to do what the Huskar wants to do, because the Huskar's fighting from behind. You know, he's getting to nearly half the net worth of the Gyrocopter, and that's a point where we see he keeps going on the Gyro, and the Gyro like more or less beats him. That previous fight, by the way, wasn't the worst in the world for Secrets. They got rid of the Aegis, they killed Night Stalker with track, 3 of them died. Given their position in the game, it's not that bad. It's just not clear that they're going to claw their way back into the game with like these sort of not that terrible fights. They need a good fights, and not sure where it's going to come from. While Weehard does get scouted out,
he's forced away from the farm that Liquid will clean up for themselves, I imagine, here. And the Secret just kind of have to turn away and allow this to happen, or are they going to fight for their lunch money? Well, Weehard will try to snipe what he can. Liquid do turn back and walk away. And, well, I mean, it's nice for Secret. They are able to get that little bit of track hold and help themselves out a bit. But you just can't help but feel like Liquid continue to just get a bit more, and things could prove to be more puzzling for Secret. I mean, imagine when JerAx is able to finish out his Ags now. That could come a bit later now because he has just been caught out. Between Wee and pieliedie, they're able to get easy track gold there. They will take the extra purse.
Yeah, it's actually probably the most important hero to kill. It's really good for Secret that they killed him twice in a row, because as you said, the Ags is... I think the final ingredient. When Night Stalker gets Ags, when you have like the scary 5-man, almost death ball lineup, and you can see everything all the time, very difficult to screw things up. But before the Night Stalker's Ags, there's still some potential to get outplayed, I think. Especially if Liquid prematurely go high ground, which they very clearly haven't wanted to do. aware of the fact that that's maybe one way they could ruin things.
They made their jump on the MATUMBAMAN here in the bottom lane, but he makes a quick kill on the Envy, and he might even turn it back onto Misery. He will! That was premeditated for a while. Misery had been stalking that prey for quite some time. Envy waited in the dark. They converged, and it was a disaster. But now they look for more. Kuro getting shackled up, almost goes down. Puppey helps finish him off. And Weehaw is able to make it away, it looks like for now, but JerAx is on the prowl. Moves in, gets off the Void. Will eat a brief shackle, but not one to really latch. And he is just chomping at the bit to take him down. Runs right through a wall and everything, but that's not going to be enough damage. He retreats north, gets the blink out, and now has a TP. Ooh, crafty little plays from Weehaw to make it away from trouble, and he will make it safe.
Yeah, it's kind of telling of the state the game's in when Huskar tries to kill Gyrocopter, not just on his own, but with a task, his offlane task. And Jara just turns it around because that's, you know, Huskar is meant to be pretty good at killing Gyrocopter, and not being able to do it with help. Very, very problematic, very troubling, because that's sort of the main role, I think, of the Huskar in these fights in the first place.
Now he's back once more, 1 in 8.
That was before MATUMBAMAN got BKB, right? He only got it after that, I think.
Yes. I believe.
So things are only gonna get worse for Secrets.
And now Liquid will continue to take their advantage while they got it and press right back over the river, take away the farm from Secret's Woods here, and play the game as they want to dictate it. I mean, they could just slow roll it a bit, wait out, get the Roche, Aegis with that. They have enough in their formula to probably make an advancement towards the high ground here. And how confident can we really be, Scant, in Secret's high ground? That they'll be able to withstand a pressing Liquid team, which is fortunately about to surround. Envy's able to make it out, but pieliedie is going to be spotted. A second sentry is going to be committed for this one. He's trying to run out of the vision, and it looks like he actually might be able to make it away. All right, Pie's safe. Puppey with the TP is just going to keep the pressure up in the top lane.
Secret's high ground defense, it's not too bad. Spam the ice shards, the power shot, the paralyzing casks. It usually defending the high ground depends on the attacking team kind of like overstepping a bit, because when you're pushing base, you always feel this pressure on you to like actually get things done. Well, speaking of getting something done, EternaLEnVy is gonna be done into the ground yet again. He's 1 for 9 now, and I didn't mention earlier, but we said this was the 4th lowest net worth he'd had all year at 10 minutes. And those other 3 games are all losses. Just in case you're wondering.
Puppey also maybe next to go down, top lane. Try to get away with the little glimmer cape, but they were persistent. They got him. And Liquid in much more of a dominant position than they were just moments ago. The biggest net worth advantage of this game being at 7,500, creeping near that 10k mark. XP way past that. And we already see FATA building now into what looks like his AC. And with that, it's not going to be a whole lot of effort to kind of burst through this fortitude of Secret. Weehaw, the pressure begins to mount on his shoulders on what the comeback game plan is going to be here, Scant. He already has the Agdams, but it's time to build in some damage, and he'll lead in with a Crystallis, it looks like, for now.
Yeah, and again, Weehaw's the only part of Secret's lineup that's really going according to plan. Well, they'll find the Night Stalker again. I wonder if they've got enough. No, they don't.
Fortunately, a slip on the shards there.
Another rush.
He's going to make it away, and he'll be able to go right back into the home. JerAx kind of showing that they're in the Aegis, but it doesn't really matter. They're going to have it nonetheless. Secret not going to have an answer for it here, and again, it's back to them just pushing out the lanes while they can, and well, staying back, and ultimately probably having to prepare for a strong defense.
Yeah, Weehaw can kill people. In fact, MATUMBAMAN's coming in all alone here. He's got the Aegis, but if they get the Shackle, they...
Oh, he didn't get the Shackle lined up, but he's doing good damage, and the Shard Block could certainly help out now. They turn and run out from the call down here. They recognize that there's a lot mid lane. Can they turn this onto MATUMBAMAN? Well, Misery is going to TP out, trying to slow them down. Oh, Rocket connects. Weehaw's in trouble here. Weehaw has Blink, has TP, uses both. We'll make it away. They've been very scared.
If they hit the Shackle there, MATUMBAMAN was alone. Like, he could easily have just lost his Aegis.
But no Shackle, no opportunity, and Liquid. Looks like they, after knowing that they're going to be in the dark, there was a ping there, but they smoked up and they're on the move, and Secret. Did they have vision? No, they didn't have vision, but they're still playing Very, very scared. Waiting inside the base, only Envy way out right now farming, and he may be in trouble soon if he doesn't TP out right now. It looks like he will.
Looks like, yeah. Or does he wait around? Because then I think he gets discovered. They're going to be thorough about this.
Oh, he already used the vacuum. Now it's time to TP. Now it's the time to TP. Oh! Oh my goodness, that was close! JerAx, his arms were in the air! And he...
Just barely making it out, but honestly, small mercies in a game like this where normally we see a Haskell picked and we talk about Haskell gaming, and like even if the Haskell's team doesn't win, there'll be moments in that game where it's like Haskell versus the world, just totally doing it. And sadly, that hasn't happened for EternaLEnVy at this game. I don't think even once. I don't think there's been a single fight that has been about the Haskell. They've kind of just like shrugged him off.
Oh, he's not the raid boss. Not now. He's a raid peasant at this point until he can ultimately find his groove, coming back through track gold and maybe some opportunities that Liquid kind of hand over to him. Maybe he can make that ultimate return, but as it stands right now, you're looking at a pretty damn beefy Liquid squad right here. Check over Mr. MATUMBAMAN, and he's damn near 4K gold already built up for himself. We wager he could either, you know, finish out the Satanic or build forward into something like MKB, let's say, just to help out with the Wind Ranger.
MKB sounds about right. I mean, it's a fairly standard build-up on Gyrocopter, and when there's a Wind Ranger, especially when it's... And there's a Solar Crest and Bounty Hunter, yeah, it's got to be MKB. Double evasion.
And, you know, it's fortunate as they bring together the Solar Crest and everything. It's not going to work out too well for him here. It's definitely Liquid's ball to drop at this point, but Secret are... definitely not out of the idea of running something a bit optimistic here. They dive deep into Liquid territory through a smoke, which, as we all know, they don't have the shortest cooldown, so every smoke really needs to matter at this point in the game, and this time they're not going to be able to get anything done. They will continue to pressure out the top lane, but Liquid are elsewhere in the world, adding pressure to the mid lane and elsewhere, but it looks like if they find an opportunity, they will hustle that way to try to take a fight, but Secret will always be quick to retreat, as we see here.
Yeah, Secret just trying to draw out the game, offer more opportunities for Liquid to make mistakes at this point. I think they know that in a fair fight, they have almost no chance. Pretty much no chance at all. So try and get pickoffs, try and stop Liquid from getting the high ground. Longer the game goes, the more farm you get, and the more chances they have to make mistakes.
Now Liquid turned their way all the way towards the bottom. Envy, no TP for 35 seconds. I think he could be in trouble here. JerAx just muscles himself in, gets off the early silence. Mind Control's there to meet him at the front, and Envy's just like, follow me, everybody, away from the base. He goes down. See, we're kind of itching that way. They better be careful not to get caught still outside their base, but I guess just Liquid will take the one kill. They're happy to get down Envy while he can. He did somewhat buy out. It looks like he has a Mithril Hammer in his stash, but you really can't be, affording to lose even more on this Huskar.
Do you think MATUMBAMAN ever gets bored of playing Gyrocopter, or do you think he just likes... I mean, I guess we have like Illidan and Silent who used to play this hero every game as well, but MATUMBAMAN, I just feel like... I can't remember the last time I saw him playing another hero. Maybe he like wakes up in the middle of the night dreaming he's a helicopter or something.
Yeah, it came after his like Ember Spirit binging phase. I mean, I wonder if he probably had a lot more enjoyment playing Ember Spirit, who offers a lot more tools and fancy footwork. Gyrocopter's like more of a farm up quick and just hope you mow over the other team. Well, they got the courier. That's a step in the right direction here. It wasn't cargoing anything, but that option's now taken away from Secret. And Liquid are starting to just constrict the noose more and more, and they're starting to tantalize with the idea of getting closer to that high ground. Here they come.
Yeah,
on the front door.
It's definitely looking like a matter of time right now. You never know with high grounding. There's all sorts of strange things that can happen. There's all sorts of like, there's a lot of more potential to make bad decisions because you feel under pressure to get things done, and the positioning for the defending team is preferable. But by all rights, Liquid should get Raxus here, I think.
Let's see if they can. They're a little hesitant to do it. Make sure they want to disperse the extra stun time from even this coconut. Wait for the creep wave now and give it another go. Misery already softened everything up. And
Nightstalk is really close to Ags actually. It's got to be what they're waiting for. He just needs the courier basically.
all right, that would be a great tool to have. Get that followed up. Someone get him a gem. It looks like Darcy already has the gem. You can hand that bad boy over, and then you're gonna see Secret Team really in the dark at this point, and they're already gonna be pretty starved for farm. And any little bit that they're going to be able to get a hold of is probably going to have to go towards the way of Weehaw, if anyone. So this leaves Envy in an eternal struggle trying to get a hold of a BKB, which might not be coming anytime soon if the fights keep up here in the mid lane. Here. Creeping in. Oh, vacuum. Swing and a miss. Try to get him to the low ground there. Valiant effort, but a shackle shot will connect. MATUMBAMAN has a satanic. And now he's going to have to pop it here and starts going out with the flat cannon. And oh man, Puppey can't even hold his own life to keep the death ward out. Envy goes down. They both buy back. Tier 3 already dropped. Rax is exposed. Liquid having second thoughts about overcommitting into this one. JerAx will be going down. Was able to finish off obviously the Ags before this, but now it's Liquid on the retreat. And they're satisfied enough with forcing out the buybacks to get to tier 3. Pretty big win for them. And at this point, they could wait out, get the next Roche, and rinse and repeat, if you will.
Yeah, also, it's not just the buyback, it really depended on that shackle from Weehaw, which Secret can't even take a convincing fight despite that shackle. I mean, that's the 1 and 2 position heroes shackled to each other. I mean, if you look at the net worth, 20,000 and 16,000, at 36,000 out of their 62,000, it's like 2/3 of Liquid's net worth disabled for 4 seconds, and Secret still can't take a convincing win.
It doesn't really hit you good in the morale department if you're Secret. And, well, they are able to clean up a tier 1 tower, the 3rd tower of the game. Or, sorry, mistake that. 4th tower of the game. Well, they're still feeling rambunctious enough to kind of step out and away from home here while they can, while this Night Stalker's not around. But once he's back, and they still have that gem, they're not going to have very good intel and very good safe areas to continue and keep farming. In fact, Liquid might not even just give him the time of day. They're already back together here, and they could just be charging right back down mid lane, knowing that the buybacks are already down.
Yeah, EternaLEnVy has yeah, I don't know if he's gonna get to his BKB because he has to buyback, and the fight's happening right now. Puppey's gonna go down first.
MKB in on time. They're making their move onto Puppey. Puppey trying to run. He's got the Ghost Scepter. He looks like he'll stay alive. They're going to try to take what fight approaches him here, but Liquid, probably not the ideal position. They may have to turn back and around here, but MATUMBAMAN persistent to fight some more. Pops a Satanic. He's muscling his way through this Death Ward, and he wants blood. Takes down pieliedie. Secret hustled back into their fountain here. I mean, Liquid probably hoping that this fight was going to be taking place in the mid lane here. Now we'll have to start from scratch, taking down the tier 3. Oh, nice shackle here from Wee. Follow up. They could get FATA down. They will. MATUMBAMAN looking to turn around and fight. No more Satanic, but he still has that mighty BKB. And with that, they're going to be able to take down Puppey once more. Tier 3 will drop. Envy's back now, makes a committed in dive, but he can't handle much of the right click here. MATUMBAMAN on the chase. Blocked up from Misery. He's got to get him down regardless. Mind Control helps pick up that one. And Secret still trying to juggle Liquid around away from doing any sort of serious damage to the base. Liquid do sidestep for now, and it looks like they are going to be able to get the melee racks down here on the bottom lane and follow it up with the range. Hell, they might even just go mid lane. Puppey and Envy not coming back for a while.
It is daytime now, so that might be another dead Night Stalker. Although we had jumped in for this, so I think he might pay with his life.
Yeah, meanwhile, MATUMBAMAN up in arms with Misery, and Weehaw's turning it around onto Mind Control here. This is forcing MATUMBAMAN and company to head that way. Oh, Shackle not connecting, not fortunate this time for Wee. But he's still on the chase, man. Boop, 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 boop. Needs more. Oh! It looked like he was going to juke it at first, but he ends up walking straight into it here. I'll take that gem, sir. And he is on the run. 9 more seconds. He'll have a TP.
He's gonna shackle them to each other.
He turns back. Oh, he doesn't get the shackle. He tried to do it, but it wasn't there. And he will be able to make
the
it
heroics from Wee in both of these Rax pushes. He's managed to shackle the 2 carries to each other. In this one afterwards, he like went in deep, made a pair of kills on his own. So he's trying his best to just put his entire team on his shoulders, but I don't know. They're running out of opportunities, I would say.
Convenient for them, the Roche is already back up and at the ready here, and they know that they have plenty of resources to do it. Pi toying with him a bit, is around, pops off the track, but he will see Roche already done here. The Aegis is going to be picked up here from FATA. Uh-oh, Secret kind of wanting to fight. They want to fight, Liquid don't, but they might have to. FATA gets blocked out, pops his BKB. Meanwhile, Wee gets a nice clean kill, taking down Kuro. Puppey will go down to the hands of MATUMBAMAN and FATA, and now they look for EternaLEnVy here. EternaLEnVy on the retreat. Weehan, go on without me. He might, oh, he's down. Okay, he will go down. Wee still alive. Same with Pi, but that's 3 down. No buyback here. Liquid, it's time to go right back at the base once more.
Weeha's gotten half the kills in his team pretty much, and it's not like he's stealing. Most of those are solo kills. Like, he is every single time doing what he needs to do.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I don't know.
And he's actually amassed a lot of gold for himself. So yeah, it's gonna be a full Desolator. Slightly short from buyback now, but I guess desperate times.
This has got to count too. Nice shackle connection set up with the blink. He will get JerAx down. Will he walk away with his life here? It looks like he may. Liquid need to turn back, or not. He got hit with the rocket and he ends up going down, and the flak seemed to be enough to riddle him down. He does have that buyback gold now from that kill. Sidesteps. Oh no! Lotus just in time reflects it back, but he still is able to hold strong, and he will be able to get that next kill. Taking down mind control, but the fortunate thing here, Scant, is that the Rax would still fall nonetheless. Puppey steps in the middle of him. Lands a coconut, Ghost Scepter's backing away. Secret trying to get a bit more from this. Shackle. Oh, he tries to use the creep, but it's not going to latch. Now this time, he will be running away as FATA walks him back. And low on the damage. EternaLEnVy, though, gives his life in hopes that he can take him down, and they will, but it's only for the Aegis. And with that, Secret, this could be the beginning of the end for him here. Weeha on his last life. EternaLEnVy down again for a minute without a buyback. And it looks like Misery will be joining him here soon. Oh, snowball. Stall tactics here. Oh, wow, nice little blink. He's gone. They don't care about him anymore. They want the base. They want to move on in and see if they can get done.
When you go to the arcade and there's that game where like little things pop up and you have to hit them down each time they do, it feels like Weeha's playing that game and he just like can't keep them down, and not, like each time he goes in he kills someone, but it's there's not enough coming out the rest of his team. If you look at the net worths, the next richest person on Weeha's team is like half as rich as him, and he's just like desperately trying to keep them down.
Oh, and poor Weeha here might be going down, and that could be the end for Secret. They know he does not have a buyback. He's out, 108 seconds. We will not be seeing him again. pieliedie will be going down next, and that will be the game here. Secret will be dropped. Liquid pulling out a bit of an upset here in game number 1. Their team fight coordination works out, and the Huskar doesn't ever get to be a real Huskar.
Yeah, this is like a perfect example of not what you want to happen to your Huskar pick. I mean, we've seen so many examples of Huskar kind of just doing it, living the dream. This is the exact opposite, and perhaps we won't see a first phase Huskar pick next game from Team Secret.
That was a bit funky there, and maybe putting a message out there or something. Definitely a bit different than what we're used to seeing. So with that, we'll cut to a small break, and when we get back, we will see if Secret will be able to bounce back and take it to a game 3 as we hop into game 2 of Secret, taking on Liquid. I'm KotlGuy, that's Scant. We'll see you soon. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to more Star Ladder iLeague Star Series 13 action. We are in stage 2, Group B action here as we see Team Liquid going toe-to-toe against Team Secret. I'm KotlGuy for Beyond the Summit. I'm going to be joined again, of course, by Scant on the remote. And, well, here we are, Scant, into game number 2. Game number 1 didn't fare so well for Secret. They made a bold early pickup of a Huskar in the first phase without a dazzle behind it. And it was a hard life for EternaLEnVy. Weeha had some fun little plays, but it just was not enough to withstand the heavy pressure of Liquid. Let's see what Secret are going to be doing for game number 2.
Remaining.
That's interesting. What do you wager they might have to do or change up?
5 seconds remaining.
Well, EternaLEnVy needs to have a better game. I mean, it's not just about the Huskar. Like, I said in the previous game that he's arguably the best carry player in the world, and I think that the whole Reddit and Twitter and Twitch chat went crazy really angry about my saying that. I mean, he certainly wasn't in the previous game. He had a poor game. The hero didn't work out, but he also had some like completely failed omelet toggles and decisions. So I think he needs to be in like a better headspace in this game, because had a great game, but these days it kind of usually comes down to two cores, both having at least one having a decent game and the other one having a great game or something like that. And EternaLEnVy was nowhere in the previous game.
10 seconds
Hopefully
remaining.
they can change that up, get him something he is used to. How about an Ember Spirit? That's the
5
classic
seconds
secret
remaining.
way. Open up your 1-2 punch with a something plus Ember. That would be swell. Winter Wyvern, all right.
Yeah.
We have not
Secret,
seen much of
turn to
Winter
face.
Wyvern even today, or maybe even yesterday. Been very, very first ban worthy. But here we see Secret able to kind of gobble it up for themselves. So, and it's also a nice takeaway, because I mean, I'm sure Liquid would love to have the Wyvern if it made its way through.
Yeah, definitely. And Ember Spirit could be a nice pickup. Maybe EternaLEnVy's a bit tired of playing the hero, wants to try something different. It's another thing we haven't discussed.
10
We're close to a new
remaining.
patch. This is a qualifier for a LAN that's
5
not a
seconds
major or
remaining.
TI. Europe is also a very close region at the moment. There's a lot of top teams that can take games of each other. People are asking for explanations why this team's being
Team
upset by that
Liquid's
team.
turn to
There,
pink.
part of the reality of it is that there's just, there's a lot of strong teams at the top of Europe at the moment. So they're going to be trading blows back and forth in these tournaments.
Well, they don't decide to go for the Ember. They get another secret trademark here in the Bane grab. And it does offer a lot of potential in lane dominance and maybe even some possible setup there. Liquid, we could see them even
10
just go back
seconds
once again
remaining.
for the classic MATUMBAMAN gyrocopter at this point. He's may or may not be
5
sick of
seconds
playing the frickin'
remaining.
thing, but fact of the matter is he does a pretty damn good job, and you put that together with a Darkseer and you have some...
Reserve time.
You might have the same formula that we saw from pretty much game number 1. Also on the side, happy Kappa Claus, everyone. This is a wonderful time, Scant. They released a new emote, so all the chat is going to be distracted with the emote. They won't care how good or bad of a job we do, so this is great.
That's great. Is it a Christmas emote?
Merry
Is that-
Christmas. Happy Kappa Claus, apparently. I tried it, I
Great.
misspelled it, and I hurt myself, so...
Team Liquid's
Go ahead.
turn
I
to ban.
think Liquid unsure about Jara in this game because both the supports can ult him through BKB, which means that there's already going to be a big target on his head. That
That's
said, I
very
mean,
true.
that's the case against Queen of Pain as well. Although we don't know what the Queen of Pain is. I think Liquid today ran a
Team
core quap,
Secret's
but
turn to
before
ban.
today they'd been running support quap almost the entire week. So it could be either one of the two.
Yeah, that's a great point on the gyrocopter that is heavy valued, and you're right. There's, unlike most teams, Liquid
10
pull out the Queen of
seconds
Pain here,
remaining.
and things are still just as flexible as they want it. So they could
5
still
seconds
just benefit
remaining.
on moving on, picking up a great support that's still left over for them.
Reserve
Obviously,
time.
Secret haven't really shown too much of their hand on what the game plan is for them. But we'll see here. Second phase, that's where things always get a bit sticky and heroes creep through that you forget about, a certain like Brood Mother, let's say. I don't foresee another Huskar, but it could be done even on the side of Secret, who knows. Or Respect Ember Spirit could end up coming in and showing its ugly face.
I'm
Team
interested to
Liquid's
see what
turn
Secret
to
are
ban.
planning to lane against that Darkseer, because that's actually where EternaLEnVy's Huskar game started so poorly last game. The power of the early game Darkseer, and initially it might have looked like the Huskar was getting the better trade, but they turned it around and then just became unlaneable for him.
10
And
seconds
Bane,
remaining.
a hero that's part of the reason you pick the hero is it can kind of zone any off
5
laner
seconds
or
remaining.
sometimes even mid laner, wherever you put it. But I think Darkseer is one of the few heroes that Bane
Reserve
struggles to
time.
1v1 zone. Darkseer can just kind of decide to take that fight and win it.
I'm sure that's something they got to be aware of, and if that was the case, if they were hoping that they got someone good to zone back someone like a Darkseer, which they already saw the pick, I mean, they could have just gone like a Disruptor, which is something they do favor. I feel like Disruptor's pretty damn good at stopping a Darkseer with the help of the Glimpse, but I feel like maybe then Bane is going to be utilized elsewhere, perhaps even just like the mid lane, just in
Team
case they can
Secret's
secure a
turn
better
to
start for
ban.
we. But we'll see nonetheless. Secret, after all, I'm sure that it's in good, capable hands. But I like this Respect Band. This is a good one. Something Secret, a few teams do go for is getting Misery on that Nyx assassin, and they love to go for it
10
when teams pick up
seconds
combo
remaining.
heroes like Darkseer. So it's just Liquid still doing their
5
homework,
seconds
whereas some
remaining.
teams may have slept on that fact, and then next thing you know, Secret have a very good comfort hero for themselves.
Reserve time.
Yeah, definitely. The mana burn very good against Quap and Doxia, and just the Carapace and Impale to disrupt the combos, as you said. And look at that, Secret Ban Nightstalker. It's just like, you don't want to play against that hero. That was the last pick for Liquid last game. I think Secret maybe were surprised by it, because the other hero was already Undying for supports. But we know that Liquid have been experimenting quite a lot with their supports recently. Another one being the Queen of Pen they already picked up. But since there won't be a Nightstalker in this game, and quite possibly not a bounty hunter, we won't have those crazy vision shenanigans where, you know, at various points different teams just have like basically unfair amounts of vision, and it brings it back to a more standard Dota 2 landscape.
So where did Secret want to take it at this point then? And do they just dive right in to grab up a succulent MV treat here? Still can't help but continue to throw out the name like the Ember Spirit. Unless this Queen of Pain gets a nicely timed Orchid, he might not run into too much trouble. And we, like I said, don't even know if it's going to be a core Queen of Pain. If it's not the core, then he wouldn't have to worry about something like that. But still, without Liquid either showing their hand, it's hard to say.
It's interesting that Secret ignored Slaughter last game, and seemed like they might be ignoring it again here. It's a hero that they prioritized a lot in Frankfurt, and I think people felt like in the grand finals they maybe over prioritized it, and it didn't do enough for them. So it could be that they're off it a bit, but Shadow Fiend's clearly not off that, and that's gonna be the pickup. Shadow Fiend, I think.
How can we forget about Shadow Fiend? He just wasn't even touched at all.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
It's like the hero of this meta game.
Yeah,
Shadow
right. Wow. That doesn't happen very often. Second phase Shadow Fiend. I mean, it took a lot of time for Secret to pick it up. I wonder if they were just kind of like, oh, whoa, Shadow Fiend's out there. Didn't even realize it. Well, they get it now, and
yeah.
Oh, you know what? I would love Liquid to go for at this point. Maybe like a Spirit Breaker. It fits JerAx profile. Very good with Darkseer and Ion Shell, and is a problem for Shadow Fiend mid lane. That could be something.
Yeah, Spirit Breaker good with Darkseer, right? And the only thing that works against Spirit Breaker is that Winter Wyvern's like one of the better heroes at guarding against Spirit Breaker ganks, because you what's that spell called? You Cold Embrace your ally, and then Spirit Breaker's like, okay, I don't exist, because he can't do anything through that. But that's not necessarily like decisive here. I think we could see it. It fits well with the Queen of Pen and the Darkseer. The one limiting factor about the Shadow Fiend for Secrets is that it's more than likely we are playing it, and that changes the dynamic slightly, because a lot of the time I think that EternaLEnVy is prioritized in the team, and we are as like the plan B, which ended up having to be the plan A last game. But I think EternaLEnVy can play Shadow Fiend, but I think we're much more likely to see it being Weeha, and that means EternaLEnVy has to usually the hero picked with the Shadow Fiend is kind of the secondary, might become the main carry later on, but for the most part will be the secondary carry.
Yeah, we see it similar in teams like EG. Like sometimes Arteezy will take over for the Shadow Fiend. He even has pulled it off in the mid lane if necessary. But yeah, Secret's one of those teams that if necessary they can make those kind of adjustments. More likely we'll see it on Wii in the mid lane, but if the opportunity presents itself and Wii needs to take reign on something a bit dramatic, or Envy, then they'll make the swap. But here we see now they still need to get that Misery grab. We threw out the name Slardar before, which could be a valued option to them. I could just as easy though see like Liquid pick up like a Baden or something to respond. It's very good against the Bane and the Slardar. So, and you don't want to get a Clockwork now, because you get a Clockwork into a Rubik.
Ember Spirit.
They're going to go for the Arteezy Ember Spirit.
Team Liquid's turn.
There it is, the Envy Ember Spirits, and that's, I mean, maybe they'll do me a favor now and support my view that, because people got upset I said Envy might be arguably the best carry player in the world, and I feel like some of the games he plays Ember Spirit, if you don't say that, people get upset with you, because it's like, you know, the masses are just like in awe of the plays that he makes on the hero sometimes. So definitely with Ember Spirit and Shadow Fiend put together on this team, they've pretty much got the late game. They've also got Bane and Winter Wyvern, whose ultis go through BKBs, so I think Secret, even without seeing their last pick, they've more or less secured the late game. And PL is picked straight into Ember Spirit.
Yeah, what? Hello? I mean, I thought that was like one of the you know, the known rights to Dota is just, you never do PL into an Ember Spirit. That's just a big no-no. And you have to make sure that Ember Spirit is banned or just not a possibility at that point. But Liquid just rip off their shirt and they're like, we'll take it on head on. We don't care. Maybe feeling like that the rest of the team doesn't have a really good way, but they even have a Wyvern. I don't know, Scant. How are we feeling about this PL pick? I'm a bit I'm a bit perplexed right now.
5 seconds remaining.
So the PL Ember thing is complicated, and I know that around the time of TI, PPD said something
Team
as
Liquids,
directors,
turn
you don't
to
pick PL
bat.
into Ember Spirit, but I feel like Ember Spirit peaks a bit later than PL in terms of his like actual farmed peak, and he's only going to be a counter to PL once he has a bunch of items, a Battle Fury, a Daedalus, etc. Before he has those items, I think
Team
PL
Secrets, turn
is
to
actually a
bat.
bit of a problem for Ember Spirit and for everyone else in his team here, and I think that the PL is more likely to safely get to that peak quickly on. So it's not necessarily a suicidal pick to take PL into Ember Spirit. At the same time, I agree with you. The Shadow Fiend and the Winter Wyvern both work quite nicely against the Phantom Lancer.
Yeah.
Only the Bane who really has no answer to Phantom Lancer. But to me, it's just like a sign that that's a
10
hero they want to pick up.
remaining.
Fits with the kind of momentum they want to go for, the timings they want to go for,
5
the way their
seconds remaining.
entire strategy is going to sync up, and just not too concerned about the Ember Spirit, which I think is okay if you're going to control the game. But wow, it's
Team Liquids,
You know
turn
what?
to bat.
I
Misery's
want
Tempest.
to applaud that ban from Liquid was wonderful. I bet you anything they wanted that Magnus so bad for Misery right there. And Liquid no. You know, Ember and Magnus do go hand in hand, and they had the Misery hero last, and now we're going to see Misery on a different hero. Have we ever seen Misery play Timber Saw rather? I don't think I have personally ever seen him play it. I know lately it's been a
10
hot trend for
seconds
Team
remaining.
EG and Sumail, but back in the offlane position outside of
5
like Ice
seconds
we don't
remaining.
get to see the hero very often, so I think I would remember Misery playing him. Do you
10
know any
seconds
better? Like,
remaining.
have you seen him play it at all? This is going to be interesting. He's a pretty high
5
skill
seconds
cap hero,
remaining.
you know?
don't think I have. I can actually check very quickly. He's got one Timbersaw game recorded on Dota, but it's not this patch, so must have been quite a long time ago.
Okay.
And it has been Timbersaw being picked a lot in the save lane recently, except by Ice, who plays it in the off lane. I think Misery is certainly a capable enough player to do it.
Oh, yeah.
The start of his career back in Dota 1, he was actually always playing in those kind of flashy things. Like, he used to be known for his Mirana, I think, mostly for like hitting arrows and leaping to disjoint things. And so, technically speaking, I'm sure he's got the skill set to play the Timbersaw.
Oh, for sure. I'm not going to say, like, we should be in for a fun treat or whatever. It's just, wow, this is, you know, Secret. It's match point for them. They dropped this Liquid 2-0 Secret, and they're going to be pulling out something a bit new. Now, of course,
10 seconds remaining.
they might have practiced this in Scrim, and he has been, you know, maybe
5
playing it in his
seconds
pub play a bit.
remaining.
I'm just making the obvious note that this will be Misery, you know, in quite a while, his first time playing the Timbersaw in a professional game. So I'm very eager to see how it goes. I love the hero. I think he's one of the best crowd pleasers in the game to watch. So the other downside of it, though, is that it's very also obvious when things are not going well and you maybe misplay a bit. So we'll see how the game's going to go on here. Liquid, though, with their very confident draft, MATUMBAMAN maybe had a say in it, you know, Scant, but he's like, give me PL. I don't care that they have an Ember Spirit. I don't care that they have all this clear and the opportunity to get even more clear in this Timbersaw. I still want to play it. How are we feeling? Match on match now with all 5 picks already out there.
I like Secret's draft. I think that, you know, maybe Ember Spirit's not going to counter PL too early, but Timbersaw certainly will. Shadow Fiend's got that AoE damage as well. There's the Winter Wyvern. If the game goes late, we already said it's fairly clear that Secret are favored. So it's just about this early game, and there's going to be an attempt on pieliedie. I know it's going to fail after all that
30
hiding.
seconds
Yeah,
to
they like
bat.
hid
don't
in the
think anything-
trees like the Lost Boys there, but they were not able to grab a hold of anyone, and pieliedie will be able to make it away barely. But did they walk out at least with planting any wards? They got the 1 sentry down below to block out the pole camp, which is okay. And there is no sentries right now that I can see in the hands of anyone on Liquid, so that camp is going to be blocked for good. And they're going to instead look for a possible skirmish here at the start of the game. 2 ion shells already out. Secret, we don't want any part of that.
The battle
So they'll hand that one over to
begins.
Liquid, and you know what? It looks like Kuro's going to get the one at the top. So this will be 2 runes for Liquid. Very nice.
And Secret are doing what's now become a classic Secret strategy to start with and Misery in the safe lane. The previous game was a bit messed up. EternaLEnVy got an early death, and Misery was actually giving space to pieliedie in that lane. It's going to be more the standard setup we're used to seeing from Secret in this game.
Now the 2v2 mid lane begins. One that you don't see very often on the Liquid side is Kuro on a support Queen of Pain, dancing around with FATA and his Viper. If this was a pub, I'd be like, they're raging right now and they can't figure out who wants to play mid. But this is definitely just an alternative that Liquid have pulled out time and time again. The support quap here. This is just going to be so fun
Yeah,
to see.
and like I said last game about Paradise Bounty Hunter getting the bounty rune level 1, it's also very important that Kuro got 1 this game, because Queen of Pain supports extremely strong at level 2, quite limited at level 1, because you have to have the Shadow Strike or the Blink as opposed to both, and once you have both, there's courier sniping, there's ganking from out of fog, all sorts of things you can do, which, I mean, right now if he had Blink, he'd probably snap the courier.
Oh yeah. And maybe find an opportunity for Pi here, but Pi's going to turn around, sap up some life back himself, and this is just not ideal for mid laners. And oh, Pi goes down. Fata, just a nice little orb walking forward, is going to get the pick, and Pi is first to drop. I mean, that happens pretty frequently, but Secret will not get the nod this time.
Yeah, it's just pieliedie. I think, yeah, Weeha's farm is still looking pretty good, so Secret might be happy with how the lane's going. Because Shadow Fiend started getting his farm, and actually there's this Nightmare as a setup, possibly the double raise, but raises are only level 1 still, so I think if Shadow Fiend's level 3 there, then he possibly goes for a kill.
Bit of disperse now, 2-minute rune about to pop up. Puppey will be first on the scene there for the bottom one. It's the illusion rune here, so might be able to use that to get some extra intel or mess with maybe JerAx a bit. Top lane rune snagged up from Pi. He'll make his return back. Let's touch base here with the top lane, though. It's offlaner versus offlaner. Darkseer taking on the Timbersaw now, and he's got the benefit of this Ion Shell. How are things going for him? Top of CS. Well, I guess things are going pretty good. 12-1 to Timber's 7-1.
Yeah, Timbersaw gets that extra regen by tanking the creeps, so he can probably stay in to handle the Iron Shell. He can't really 1v1 the Darkseer, because if he actually takes him on, the Iron Shell damage itself is not giving him stacks. But
oh, MATUMBAMAN
I think he'll
in a
be
bit
fine.
of trouble bottom lane here. Puppey flying up to the skies over and above. Looking for a hopeful splinter shot. This one will not connect on anybody. MATUMBAMAN will be able to salve up, and uh-oh. The Caffeine Warrior is running into a bit of trouble. It's a roaming Kuro, Queen of Pain, who hits him up with the Shadow Strike, and he's just going to have to take this long road out and around, and suddenly Fata's now up in his face. Tries to go down. Fata scouts him out. Oh, doesn't get the one orb connect. There it is, and EternaLEnVy. It's a long road to death, but ultimately he does get dropped in the end. Oh, man. 2-0 now for Liquid.
And that's the other old friends reunited thing, because we said Kuro versus Puppey, but FATA was also playing with Misery and EternaLEnVy before this. So,
Puppey, easy takedown bottom lane, by the way. Just a simple setup from JerAx and a Spirit Lance. They knew backup wasn't there, and they take advantage of the support while mid lane, Kuro, Shadow Strike in, putting his roaming quap to work, and is going to get the kill. Uh-oh, things falling apart here early. For Secret, 4-0. And Mind Control doing work on top lane. This is a disaster across the board. At the start, at least.
yeah, last game also started pretty poorly for Secret. The one difference is that this game Secret's draft doesn't need to start well, whereas last game they had a Huskar and it like really wanted to start well. It's still obviously not a good thing that they're behind, but they have all the tools to fight from behind this time.
EternaLEnVy grabs himself a haste rune, and it looks like he's going to take his business now towards the top lane here, where there is Mind Control. Has the mana for a surge. Can EternaLEnVy find the opportunity to move in and get the chains here? He's going to look for it. He's juking through the trees. Mind Control. Will he find his way out? There's going to be the surge. Chains. No, not yet. Not necessary. And they really don't need it. They got lots to set up here now with Pi involved. And I think Mind Control is going to be going down. And Secret will be getting themselves on the board. Kuro shows up, but it's a bit too late. He commits to Blink, and he's only going to eat a little bit of damage for it. But Secret get their grab. Mind Control really didn't have a safe way to go. And the chains kind of riding on your, butt there from EternaLEnVy. What more could you do?
Yeah, so Liquid's clean sheet will be dirtied a little bit, so they get a death there. And, I mean, I think they're pretty okay with that. It's more just that the signals that there's going to be rotation now. Misery's probably going to move out of this top lane soon. EternaLEnVy is unlikely to go back to that bot lane.
Close, but not quite.
And him trying to find a home is not good. Ember Spirit, as we know, is one of those heroes that can really get punished in the early game and have a very hard time recovering. And Liquid have a great kind of draft where if they're able to take this kind of early game advantage, it only makes their game that much easier. Someone's going to get a mech pretty damn fast, and it looks like it may be Fata. He already has the headdress here and nearly 700 gold. Imagine this Viper get early mech. They're going to come together and start pushing towers, and I don't think Secret are going to be ready for it.
Wee's in so much trouble here, actually. He can't, I mean, if he gets caught by a FATA's ulti, he just dies. If he gets caught by Blink Shadow Strike, he dies. So he's can't go into the river.
Okay. They end up getting him down. They had a what looked like an easy setup to get a kill on the mind control. It didn't end up being as easy as it should have, but they still got him in the end.
Oh, Weeha runs out of the frying pan and maybe straight to the... What?
Double
Actually,
raise. MATUMBAMAN forced to doppelganger and flee. We on pursuit. Only has the close range raise. Won't be able to get him here, and we'll have to let him go. That could have been a disastrous situation for him, but he lands those raises and has his own
Dire's
dominance.
middle tower is under attack.
yeah, it's the ward's really doing the work, because this ward at the bot lane showed him that they were coming for him. Also the ward at the mid lane, that's the reason he didn't go forward and die once he was in the mid lane. Misery and pieliedie going for an attempt on FATA. This is gonna be close.
It's a hard kill. He gets the wand, turns back, wants to go for Pi now might be in trouble himself as Kuro's there to help out, and it looks like this kill is not going to be happening. Misery will lose his own life. It's an
Is under attack.
unfortunate gank attempt there from Secret. They will lose 2. Liquid will come out with a big win there. Viper is just really a tough cookie to crack, man, and he doesn't even have a whole lot. He had only the headdress, I believe, at the time.
Oh, bot lane, Puppey might be in trouble too.
Golden braced up. He gets the
we
help
hero,
from
we hero
Wee.
Titston.
Yeah. Forces MATUMBAMAN back. Ooh. He's fine.
I think Viper must be the #1 hero to like turn ganks around when people gank it. It's just like such a dangerous hero to go for a kill on if you're not completely sure about your damage.
Those are always the most disgusting heroes. Other heroes like that, like Undying, ugh, you know, it's just... You think you're going to get them down, but they suddenly have like 7 flesh stacks or something, and then you're just losing. It's a terrible feeling, and you got to make sure you're well prepared when you make engagements like that, and unfortunately it just allows Liquid to put themselves that much further ahead. FATA is very close now to finishing out this mech. Misery has his arcane boots, but really doesn't have a whole lot extra offer. And Timbersaw can be very mana hungry. Arcane boots are nice, but when you get that bloodstone is maybe when you can start feeling a bit more comfortable.
And it's why so many people complain about Viper being a boring hero, because usually you expect people to avoid it. Nobody wants to fight a Viper. Well, they're going to try and fight him again here, and this time they bought 3 heroes. I think it should be
Fights
enough.
breaking out. This time they'll have enough to take down FATA. But on the other side, Liquid already made their move, making a jump on the Puppey. So they will sacrifice 1, but Weeha steps in and gets a beautiful snipe catch right there on the JerAx. Make it 3 as they close out MATUMBAMAN suddenly. Nice turnaround from Secret.
Yeah, and we are again, just like last game, making all the right moves. And it's so funny because after they fail the gank on Viper, I'm pretty sure FATA is now thinking, these fools, they think they can gank a Viper, and then it like makes him overconfident, and he takes the dangerous route to the rune, which is not usually the route you take, like on the enemy side of the river to the rune.
Radiant structures
Almost like
are
asking for trouble,
fortified.
and Secret already to say, look, we know Viper's difficult to kill, but we'll bring 3 heroes this time, and you will go down. It's a big kill for them. Quite a big swing, actually.
MATUMBAMAN needs to recognize also after being brought down that he is not a takey guy. He's very frail at this point without completing out power treads or drums or anything yet. He's very susceptible to being bursted down fast. A couple of raises, a combo coming out from Misery, and you are in trouble. Even now, a Splinter Blast, it's not going to come easy. And if he gets a little too overconfident here, he could just as fast lose his life.
So, as things settle down a bit, it looks like actually both the graphs are starting to favor Secret a little bit. So, early advantage for Liquid, really not much, and it's kind of petered out. Everything's sort of stabilizing, and I would say that definitely favors Secret. I think that the pressure's on Liquid to get things done in this game.
We'll see if Liquid are going to get the opportunity to do so. I agree with you. How's that mech coming along? He almost has it now. Would love to have it a bit quicker here. Secret maybe recognizing he doesn't have the mech yet. Could find an opportunity to engage here. There's a haste rune waiting to be snagged up. They're already looking for a kill. Quickly out though. Kuro not looking to get caught. Weeha will be able to step in, pick up that haste rune. And FATA's just like, oh, I need one more creep. One more creep, I'll get my mech. And boys, we can do it. We can maybe make some magic happen. Mind control will need more
Yeah, the
time,
mech is
though.
very big. Yeah. I mean, other heroes are all gonna need time to get farm, but the mech is pretty big if a fight breaks out. Even just for trying to gank the Viper, all of a sudden now 3 is not even enough. You need 4 people. So it's definitely a big item, whether or not he sits still or not. In the bot lane, it's gonna Winter's Curse and Fiend's Grip as well in the same hero, but there's no follow-up.
And they can't get him down. Brain Sap's not going to be enough. All for nothing right there. Well, Puppey will cost him his curse and his life. He won't get anything for it.
Is under attack.
But maybe create.
If they have any of their cores, I feel like Fiend's Grip or Winter's Curse plus Timbersaw, Ember Spirit, or Shadow Fiend, maybe not Ember Spirit, makes a kill. But it's just the 2 supports together with their 2 lockdowns. It's not enough damage.
Yeah, no, I agree. And maybe just feeling like it was not necessary or enough. They found more value in taking the farm elsewhere. It looks like Misery already has a point booster, so his farm is trucking along here.
Oh, we just gonna get MATUMBAMAN.
Oh, he's hustling in, and it looks like he will. Oh, nice raise catch. Turn back Spirit Lance, and oh, it looks like he might not be able to get away with it scot-free. He goes down. Gold will be split, and now they want more. Looking to make a move on the pieliedie. Kuro is able to catch up with the blink. He tries to sidestep with the sleep, and with the rotation coming in, Puppey ends up canceling it, but it's enough to divert them away. They will not pursue.
Yeah, I mean, Weehaw wouldn't have wanted to die for that kill. It's not the worst thing that could happen, but it did look like he might have gotten it with the haste rune without dying for it, so I think a victory for Liquid overall.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh,
Puppey's been slipped by the stolen nightmare.
Yeah. He'll pull it back, but he still
Kuro's
needs
got
more.
ulti.
And yeah, no one wants to engage there. Kuro may be close enough, but didn't want to pull the trigger. FATA now mid lane. They have the mech. Liquid may be coming together here. Looks like that's the case. They're migrating towards this mid lane. This may be their time. Put the pedal to the frickin' metal here. You don't want Secret getting out of control. EternaLEnVy Ember late game. I bid caution. I've seen this guy pull games back with rapiers many a time. So this is Liquid's time to go.
Misery's almost out of mana, so that's probably gonna help them push this tower, but I almost wonder if it's worth it for Liquid to group up and push, because there's spam from the Winter Wyvern and the Timber Swords to push them back. In the meantime, Ember Spirit and Shadow Fiend are both getting farm. The trade-off seems very favorable to Secret for me.
They have a wonderful balance of that wave clear in their backstaff, that they can just kind of take care of the lanes themselves. And you know, Secret had that kind of lineup where it's like, we expect that eventually you'll take down our tier 1s and maybe even tier 2s. Where we really peak is by the time we're possibly even defending the high ground and looking to wipe your team out. Without even a tier 1 taken down yet, I mean, bottom tier 1's pretty low. I'd say that the agenda is not working out so well yet for Team Liquid. Maybe they value that they need a little bit more. You see Arcane Boots now coming out, so they have more sustain. But not yet. They're looking to kind of move forward with the game plan.
Well, that top lane, Kuro's hiding here, and I doubt the 2 of them can make a kill and EternaLEnVy on their own.
Doesn't look like he has a remnant out. Now he does. Drops down, sleight of fist change. Kuro eating a lot of the damage here and almost gives Envy a freebie. But rotation from Bane and a step back. And everything will be diffused a bit. And maybe Secret will look to transition this. Some of them heading towards the top lane. But Weehaw finds his place back. Now, more or less of the same. He's also going to be going for a Shadow Blade build up on his Shadow Fiend. Something we've been seeing a lot from him recently. But allows him opportunities to engage, obviously disengage, and avoid fights if they want to continue to kind of stall things out and play the economy game. They certainly could.
Yeah, the really nice thing about Shadowblade on Shadow Fiend is the hero does so well farming the jungle, so there's good reason for it to be off the map even when it's not going for you. And so it sits around in the jungle, and once the Shadowblade's been spotted, your whole team has to be constantly aware of, could Shadow Fiend just like one-shot me with his ulti, even though he might just be farming the jungle. And I think having that implicit threat, it's almost like when you have a Clinks on your team. Anytime you're off the map, they have to be paranoid about you.
Yeah. And we'll see. I mean, you can see a little bit of paranoia right now with mind control way far back, even behind the tier 2. Heads is way back there now, but even then, he's like, I don't know. A lot missing from the map. I don't know how comfortable I feel about this. Secret not really showing themselves at all anywhere. Misery gets the deny on the tower, but outside of that, everyone else is kind of hiding in the dark.
I think we wants to kill someone. He's got a haste in his bottle, and he's got a Shadow Blade. Yeah, he's gonna go in that bot lane. They've actually got a sentry up, so he could get himself killed here.
Dire's courier has been
Let's
killed.
see, Dire Courier actually going down in the meantime, but we see now. Actually, he's the one in trouble. Walks into a sentry, gets lifted up and taken down. All in a day's work.
Yeah, that is
Dire's
the
bottom
downside
tower
of rushing
is under
Shadow Blade.
attack.
When the enemy team is prepared with a sentry ward, you feel like a bit of an idiot because you're still quite squishy.
And they lost their courier as well, so that's a double bonus right there for Liquid. A big core takedown, or a courier takedown. And now they can feel a bit more influenced. Maybe it's time to start moving forward, take some tier 1s here. Midas, the next pickup here for FATA. It's done, it's back at home. But going down that more greedy road and looking to play a bit of catch-up with Secret and how they want to, you know, take it into the later game.
Yeah, I think he's just being realistic here. There isn't an option for Liquid to group up with the mech and force down buildings. But they do have a bit of a lead here, and they can try and extend that lead if they can keep the farm up. I mean, you were just casting before this series, the richest Viper of all time, right?
Yeah, right.
That was G. And I don't know, did he even use a Midas in that game?
No Midas. It's the first Viper I've seen today. It was just a
Wow.
crazy long game, and he just took the opportunity to farm. If he had to travel his slow butt all the way up to the top lane and there was no kill there, he would farm his way there and back. So it just seemed like he was very persistent with the last hits. So it was a treat to see. If you didn't see it at home, you should definitely go check out the VOD. But back we are 9-6. Liquid kind of given these small opportunities and little kills inside the side, have yet to really push on forward. Yet to take really any significant tower rush. I mean, they got the one on the bottom, but it was denied, and yet to work towards any additional towers. I guess just taking the time to farm up themselves. MATUMBAMAN's sitting on 2.1k right now, so is it straight to defusal for him?
The farming build usually goes the Yasha first, so considering they went Midas on Viper, I feel like maybe likely that we see the Yasha. But I mean, there's certainly nothing wrong with going for the Diffusal Blade. Just probably signals that they're going to make a move a bit quicker then.
Liquid obviously then very comfortable with how the game is pacing out for now. Misery getting closer and closer to a
Dire's
Bloodstone.
bottom tower is under attack.
I'm sure he would love to turn it up a bit, adding charges. And in Weeha's case, are we expecting a BKB, or is that not necessary? You're going against the pure damage of Queen of Pain. You got a Viper Strike. Maybe you can just continue to build into damage.
There's still a lot of spell damage with the Viper's Poison, the Scream of Pain, the PL Lance, Dox's Iron Shell, so he might want a BKB anyway. Either that or SNY, he's definitely gonna bulk up either way. And interestingly, after the initial reveal of the Shadow Blade, runs into the Sentry Ward, hasn't actually gone for any kills since, almost like the reverse effect where now he's a bit paranoid. And you can definitely, there's the potential to reverse. Usually Shadow Fiends in pubs, or even in professional games, you get the Shadow Blade. If they don't have True Sight, you can just snowball, keep making kills. But if they have True Sight and you keep running into it, it's the opposite that happens. And that's a death for Misery in the mid lane.
Yeah, he was farming mid lane. We and them were nearby, but then they kind of backed out. Maybe they felt confident that he would be able to be good on his own, but a lot of Liquid members there just kind of grab a hold of Timbersaw, and they do not let go. And now Liquid are finding their opportunity to make it go into the mid-tier 1 tower here. Sleep's being traded around Secret as they kind of gather a bit. Puppey is here with Curse at the ready, but Secret just doing their best to clear out the wave, which they do get, and it will kind of force Liquid back.
Yeah, Pilot, I was considering going for the Fiend's Grip, but recognizes the Rubik's there's no point. He's just going to give it away and get it cancelled. All the while, EternaLEnVy's been farming, and I do feel like this is kind of the state of the game where top lane, we are actually trying to kill MATUMBAMAN, yeah. It isn't a sentry, but he does have an ally now.
Radiant's bottom tower
And
is
Weeha ends
under
up showing
attack.
himself. They got the Fiend's Grip here. Mind Control has to get there for the vacuum. Gets it off in time. Requiem goes out, but PL already did a doppelganger. Curse is on the illusion. And now that means MATUMBAMAN can open up on Weeha, but Weeha will live from that skirmish. FATA shows up, though, gets the cleanup kill there. Now Envy has shown up with the boots of travel and is hoping to clean house here for Secret. Will he be able to, though? Now lifted up, JerAx shows himself. He's going to have to remnant right back out from trouble. Puppey's going to be left behind, sure to go down here. And Misery also late to re-enter into the party. Will be taken down. It's a huge fight for Liquid. Long-winded one. Everyone participating, and eventually, though, Envy's like, this isn't going so well. I'm back bottom now. And this means Liquid will be able to follow this up with a tier 1 takedown at top. You may even see them continue on forward and plant some nice aggressive wards.
Yeah, it's some good decision-making from Liquid, and getting into that kind of fights. I mean, I think for quite a while it's been the case that Liquid are going to win 5v5 fights. The reason that grouping up as 5 is problematic is because it's too easy for Secret to just push them back and split push. But if Secret are the ones saying, hey, let's take a fight, Liquid are always going to ult TP there and take that fight at this stage in the game.
Not going well for Secret as it is right now. Envy continues to do work here in the bottom lane. Liquid have put their attention towards mid to finish out the last tier 1 tower. Lots of gold bonus coming for their whole team. You're going to see JerAx very soon with a Blink Dagger even on his Rubik. Kuro's been saving a lot of gold. Looks like he's going to be going for an Agnes here on this Queen of Pain. This is a support Queen of Pain, mind you. And now MATUMBAMAN maybe looking for an opportunity to go up mid lane here. Does some work onto Puppey. They sidestep back out. pieliedie also up in arms here with Kuro. They trade. It forces Envy to TP in, and Liquid possibly looking to disengage at this point. Happy enough to kind of force Envy out from his farm. Yep, and it looks like they will step away.
Liquid doing a really good job to protect themselves from Weeha's Shadowblade. Running around, setting up sentries each time they're in a fairly dangerous position. Just making sure. And it kind of neutralizes the effect of the Shadowblade as a pickup.
I want to say an
Radiant's
interesting pick was going to be this Darkseer picking up a Glimmer Cape. You don't see that very often. Normally, you know, he commits for the Blink first, but he got Glimmer first. Now at least he has a Blink. And then normally you can see them build into something thereafter. A Lotus, Crimson, some other maybe form of utility. A Sheep as a luxury, but he stepped off early for the Glimmer Cape. And I guess it doesn't really matter, but they haven't utilized him for initiation yet. And now he'll have a Blink ready to go.
Yeah, I think that they want Rubik to probably go for Blink. And obviously the support quap has like core quap items to buy into. So if they want a Glimmer Cape to help against the focus from the Bane ulti or the Wyvern ulti, makes sense for the Darkseer to be the one to buy it.
Liquid grab a smoke, and I think they're going to be formulating a game plan here soon after Kuro is going to be finishing up his Agnum Scepter here. It's very close. It could go on the move. Since FATA picking up the Midas, going down that greedy road, he's already finished out the Yasha here. Probably looking to grab the full SMY soon. Pretty damn close, 1,700 gold here. Pi is going to run to JerAx. They drop wards across the board, and now they're going to have the pullback, but JerAx knows trouble's nearby. pieliedie will commit the Nightmare here onto JerAx. Mind Control's going to be waiting in case someone wants to engage. FATA is going to make a go onto Puppey. They're splitting up the fight while Pi waits in the Roche pit here. There's help nearby if necessary, but it looks like Secret are going to be the first to pull out.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, they just want to kill top tower. And we already see that Bane's heading there to try and support the Shadow Fiend. I don't know if this is a 2-hero kill to make though. Even with the Fiend's grip, there's not enough mana for the Requiem.
Looks like Secret knew that Liquid were still waiting nearby, trying to have Misery go out in front, but no one's going to show themselves. Yeah, they tried to head in there and get Kuro, but Kuro blinked out just in time. Deny of the illusion rune and heads out the other way. Top lane, we see the back end of it. FATA getting sapped up there. Full Fiend's grip committed, plus the Weeha right clicks. No Requiem necessary. They were able to get the pesky.
Yeah, not even raises. He had no mana, that's why I wasn't sure if they could make that kill, but Fiend's grip is a really long disable, and plus the sap, plus the right clicks did the trick.
Radiant's top tower.
Good work from them. They're going to be rewarded by being able to finish off this tier 1 tower in the top lane.
Radiant's top
and they're on the verge of trying to get themselves economically back in this game. We look at the graph. It's still heavily in the favor of Liquid here, who are on the chase. Mind Control's going to be forced to hide out. He's spotted. But these are steps in the right direction for Secret. The longer they hold out, the game gets a bit better and a bit easier for them. Misery has his Bloodstone ready to go now. And, well, it's an SMY done on Wii. Ember Spirit's down, but his Battle Fury is complete. So these are big items, all on the side of Secret.
Yeah, I think Secret would be more than happy with the position they find themselves in. Each time Liquid starts to look threatening for a while, then like it dies down, then they look threatening, then it dies down. But if that's going to be the pace of the game, then it does feel inevitable that Secret will be able to make a comeback. I think Liquid needs to at some point hit, you know, a patch of control that holds the momentum and continues to apply the pressure rather than just bits and pieces.
I mean, their response for the late game is, of course, having MATUMBAMAN here on your PL. It's got the essentials done early with your reliable and trusty Yasha. Diffusal already complete. He has a Manta soon on his way if that's something he's looking to do. But even after that, he still might need a bit more. It's just the PL going against the Ember factor, you know? And now with the cleave done, I mean, thank goodness they banned out that Magnus. If they had a Magnus on that team, oof, this PL would have a hard time. But I just imagine as the damage would continue to build up here for Envy, this PL doesn't pose the craziest threat. But we'll see. I could be wrong. Liquid could have something in store.
Worthy tribute.
We're shaping up for potential 5v5. There's a couple heroes smoked up on the Liquid side. Nobody smoked up on Secret, but they were all grouped up, just like covering the Ancients. I guess they're concerned about the Ancients being contested and EternaLEnVy being ganked. With the high ground advantage, they could protect it.
And now as Liquid show themselves here, Secret is waiting in that same lane in the back, but it's probably not to engage. They're just kind of having Envy out in front and awaiting any sort of opportunity to Liquid show themselves. It'll be towards the bottom half of this map, so it's a lot of safety farm here for Wee, who is the highest net worth on Secret right now, just barely trailing behind
Dire's
FATA and
bottom
his
tower
Viper.
is under attack.
So he is continuing to find just big openings for himself, and next thing you know, this Shadow Fiend will be a big problem here for Liquid. I mean, have a mech, have all the sustain you want, but I don't know. Eventually this damage is just going to burst right through him.
Yeah, and with the control from both the Fiends group and the Winter's Curse, it's a scary thing actually for Liquid, forcing these fights. It depends a lot on their Darkseer controlling the fight for them. We are again hoping to get an opportunity to burst out FATA with his ulti. He ends up just backing off and TPing out.
Well, they use this time to smoke instead. Maybe they don't wager he's going to still be around in that top lane. Liquid, though, already out from that bottom part of the map. They're already back near the mid lane. It looks like, what are they doing? They're trying to
Radiant's
smoke
bottom
themselves.
tower is under
That
attack.
5-on fight you're talking about may be coming here
Radiant
very
structures
shortly.
are fortified.
Liquid are possibly going to be in the neighborhood here to go for this Roche. There's no sentry down from Secret here. FATA just shows his ugly Viper face anyways and walks in, doesn't know Pi is actually there. Glimmered up, Requiem from the side, and MATUMBAMAN's going to be able to sidestep it, vacuum back into a wall. This is bad for Secret. Oh, and then there flies the Sonic Wave, and that cleans out the rest. Envy's going to try his best. He's able to slash on through and get the kill, taking down the Rubik here, making it a 2-for-2. Misery sweeping in from behind, trying to clear house and get a hold of MATUMBAMAN on the other side. Kuro also going to be dropped. Envy gets a 2-for. And they're now taking this fight right back.
Darkseer also.
Yep, mind control. Tries to surge away, but boom, make it a triple. EternaLEnVy. Now suddenly 3,700 gold.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Not good now for Liquid. They get nearly wiped out.
Radiant's
Secret could
bottom tower
come back
has
together,
fallen.
get this Roche down, and it's looking like Liquid may be passing that peak if PL's not going to be able to pick it up.
Very strange the series of events, because I feel like Secret are hoping that with EternaLEnVy going to that top lane, Liquid won't suspect that they're rushing. Liquid kind of like read the bluff, go straight to rush. Secret looked like they were panicking at first. Weehaw ran away with the Shadowblade. Misery tried to chain out and missed his chain. Then they got forced to fight, and EternaLEnVy comes back in and joins the fight and somehow managed to sort of salvage it. I think it's just that Liquid were inefficient at taking heroes down early on in the fight. Yes, they've got a decent ulti, bunch of burst damage from the Winter Wyvern and the Timber Sword. By the time EternaLEnVy arrived, everyone who was there from Liquid was low already.
Now you're looking at a much stronger Secret squad. Got the opportunity to kind of accelerate their game plan that much faster. They'll be able to follow it up, get the Aegis here. Liquid are nearby, but not looking to get into any sort of confrontation now. And we'll have to see. Secret may not even use this Aegis offensively. They could still, you know, tire out this game a bit longer and feel a bit more secure about the farm Envy could put together for himself along with Wee. And Liquid just may need to just try to be desperate in finding an opportunity. One shows itself mid lane where they make a jump on the pie, but quick turnaround curse comes out from Puppey. FATA makes chase on him. He decides to sidestep, and this is where they're a bit frantic on their targets. They're all over the place, and that means we can just sweep on in and get a quick and easy takedown of JerAx. And now FATA to be caught out. There's a Fiend's Grip. The right clicks come through. He'll be going down. It's back-to-back takedowns, it looks like, from Liquid here. And again, another opportunity where they make a committed jump, and he does not. They do not find a proper target. Mind control now, even. It's looking like deja vu from the last fight now. MATUMBAMAN's going to be the lone survivor, but EternaLEnVy comes out. Huge win. Another fight concludes, and he has another near 3,700 gold.
Dire's bottom tower has been
Yeah, it's
denied.
pretty much a disaster for Team Liquid. Like, after 2 fights in a row, I almost feel like, yeah, well, certainly they're now behind. They weren't behind up until this point in the game. They're now very clearly behind. And it's going to be uphill battle for the rest of the game. They're going to need to do... I don't know, there's just... Viper doesn't really have versatility as a hero.
Not
Does
this
very
one.
specific things.
And he gets
It's going to be the
poked a
Dogs
bit.
here.
Radiant structures.
Yeah,
are
that
fortified.
high ground Darkseer
my-
plays, those vacuum walls, that would be a step in the right direction here for Liquid. Still a lot of towers for
Radiant's
Secret
middle
to have
tower
to chew
is
through,
under
but
attack.
I don't know when Liquid feel like it might be the right time to go for it. Mid again, they're gonna make an attempt, set up again, telekinesis, there's the Sonic Wave. Misery gets the help with the Glimmer Cape and a Force Staff to get him out to safety into the cold embrace of Puppey. Now, showing up, Mind Control looking to get involved here, does have the vacuum wall, vacuums back for Wee, not looking to commit the wall just yet. Meanwhile, on the other side, EternaLEnVy will begin to engage now after Kuro gets to clean up on the Misery. But look at Wee and MATUMBAMAN going toe-to-toe. Wee might not survive for this fight, but he's got that Aegis to fall back on. And with that, him and EternaLEnVy could look to clean up Liquid if possible. And they got the Winter's Curse. Very nicely done from the low ground of Puppey here. Could force Liquid back. Pi gets a Fiend's Grip on the FATA. It's more of a defensive one, I guess, to hold him back. A stolen Fiend's Grip. Gonna get canceled, though. And Secret trying to get the hell back. But Pi will be the one, unfortunately, in a bad situation here. But hey, EternaLEnVy sees an opportunity, jumps in, gets the kill on JerAx, and steps right back out. Nice snag for him.
So, it's a win for Liquid. They got rid of the Aegis and then one support for another, but I feel like it's it's really impressive that Secret didn't lose anyone else, because it was a mess of a fight for them. Weehaw was sort of standing at the tower saying, I've got Aegis, I'm going to try and bait them. And FATA just did not take the bait. He walked past Weehaw, went and zoned EternaLEnVy, zoned the supports. And so Secret were fighting in a very awkwardly split up way. It looked like it could have been a really bad fight for them, and then they only lose the Aegis and one support, and I think they'll be very happy about that.
Mind Control scouting out EternaLEnVy here. He's hoping to catch EternaLEnVy maybe TPing away or something,
Radiant's
but
middle
he's
tower
just
is under
passing
attack.
through. Continues his
Radiant's
farm,
middle
his
tower has
pattern
fallen.
through the jungle. Mind Control will pick up for this top lane push as it stands right now. And Secret going to be set back a little bit from that, but I'm still not confident that's going to be really enough for Liquid to be able to kind of push past the river and begin to approach the Secret base in due time, which for their overall game plan they still essentially need to do. Secret just seem to have a much higher scaling team, and so Liquid still going to be pressed for time.
EternaLEnVy now has the Daedalus, and with every new item, it just seems less and less likely Liquid can win the game. They do have pick off potential. Rubik's got Blink with the instant lift, and Darkseer's got Blink and on his way to Hex as well. But the thing is, if Puppey is like paying attention or nearby at the time, there's actually no way they kill the Ember Spirit with the Winter Wyvern protecting him.
Looks like they might get a snag on the JerAx. They make it look easy. He just jumps in, gets the quick snip, and JerAx will go down. And it's turning into one of those kind of Ember games here for EternaLEnVy.
Haste.
And, you know, obviously very different than what we saw from a Huskar game just previous. This time, very comfortable. All going to plan for him, and he can just begin to farm. And it's the ball is in Liquid's court to try to do something about it.
Yeah, I think that Envy has played, well, I think he's played Huskar a number of times in pubs before. We haven't seen him play it that many times in officials, but yeah, part of it is that he had a poor performance last game. I also feel like anyone who has such a terrible start in Huskar is just like, it's going to get in your head because your hero feels a bit pointless. Whereas, yeah, as you say, he's in his comfort zone. This is exactly how Ember Spirit controls a game. Everything's going according to plan for him.
Unfortunate miss right there on the vacuum. They're not going to be able to get the snag on Misery, who will make his way out, and they're begin to play the game very kind of cheeky here, almost Alliance-esque on how they're, you know, able to kind of pressure all those side lanes a bit and retreat at a moment's notice. It's, you know, when they want to take a fight. We're not going to take a fight till we feel we're ready, till we have that extra item ready to go, whether it's Weehaw finishing out that butterfly, or whether it's Arteezy picking up an MKB or something next to add maybe an extra bit of hard-hitting damage. Then they know that they can go in with very little trouble.
That's gonna be a heart that MATUMBAMAN's building towards next. But I feel like it's ultimately just futile. Like, sure, tank up, but Ember Spirit's damage is gonna scale at a quicker rate than your tank ability, and that's one of the main reasons people say that you don't pick Piel into Ember Spirit. Like, I spoke about how Piel maybe can peak early and before Ember Spirit has that farm, but we're past that point. It's not gonna happen anymore. The Ember Spirit is going to be countering the Phantom Lancer for the rest of the game. Unless they can burst down the Ember Spirit, it's difficult to imagine Liquid winning big fights or taking objectives. And they're only going to do that if Winter Wyvern or Bane or whoever aren't there. Because we've got a 4-star on Timbersaw, 4-star on Bane, and of course Winter Wyvern with the Glimmer Cape and Cold Embrace can always save EternaLEnVy.
Well, Mind Control has put together a sheep stick. That's nice. I mean, Envy's really quick to get out, though. But if he's not quick to get out and Mind Control's able to get there with a snappy sheep stick, Envy could find himself in a bit of trouble. But again, he just continues to play it safe. Already, he's on the bottom part of the hemisphere here, farming it up. And Liquid will have to shuffle the way through. And they need to continue to go on the aggressive. If they're hoping for a solid high ground defense, it's not going to come anytime soon. And when Secret decide to make that kind of a push, they may have just kind of swallow you up in the economy department. They're going to be way farmed. Way more farmed. So, we'll see. Secret, the slow, painful game here, they're going to be able to get this tier 2, and without Liquid having everyone on hand, even FATA here now could be in a little bit of trouble. Mind Control is going to be nearby, but Secret have their eyes on the prize, and that's taking down the tier 2. They got it.
Yeah, I mean, at some point I feel like, at the time that FATA bought his Midas, I thought it made sense. They're going to just, like, edge their control of the game further and further ahead. But now I'm thinking about it, I don't know, maybe that approach tells you that they were in two minds about their draft in the first place. Like, were they planning to go kind of late?
Oh,
Kuro's been caught.
Yeah, he's caught in a curse. Quick work of him. 19 to 19 now. Game even, but if you're trying to base Dota on a game of just kill score, you're going to possibly be in for a rude awakening here. This is definitely Secret's game right now as they push on towards a 8k net worth advantage. It's already 12k plus in the XP department. And they have this Ember Spirit. Not one now, but 2 Battle Furies. The double cleave coming out for him.
Yeah. It's like making a point about, okay, you picked Phantom Lancer into Ember Spirits, I'm going to teach you a lesson, because it's not very common to go for the second Battle Fury, but definitely when you're against illusions, it makes good sense to go for that approach.
And now we'll see the precious Roche. Going to be highly contested here. Secret, I feel pretty confident about it. They already had it scouted out. About 30 seconds, he'll be at the ready. Liquid in the neighborhood. Oh, FATA. He thinks he's simply going to be farming up some creeps, but Misery will show himself here. Gem now picked up. Long Fiend's Grip, though, onto JerAx here, and JerAx should be going down, will go down. Secret might just take that and walk back to Roche, but they want more. Double Remnant all the way in here, coming out, Slight. They're going to catch him with the sheep. A big pullback here. Wall now committed. Requiem, though, going to be flying out. And this might be Secret's time here. If they could sidestep this wall. MATUMBAMAN thinking about creeping in, but
yeah,
Secret,
they don't have Puppey's ulti yet. I think Secret would have force-fed Puppey's ulti.
guess we're just in pursuit, hoping for another quick pick, but Liquid were there at the ready and had a good hold. The Mind Control interjection there, getting off the quick sheep at a respectable vacuum and wall is a good way to hold, but that means they won't have that available now. And Roche, very easy here for Secret.
Well, there's a Darkseid looking over Envy's shoulder. He's got the Hex, but he doesn't have the backup he needs to make a kill yet.
Roshan has fallen to the dark.
Yeah. He'll plant down a ward, hopefully out of vision for himself. I thought maybe he would just be ambitiously bleaking in and trying to get something set up, but they're hoping now to catch Envy farming on his way out. But he's actually back in lane. They'll see that now. Are they going to be able to get to him in time? It's hard when you're going to blink Ember Spirit, you know?
Yeah, Envy really gets caught that way. It's I think one of the things that distinguishes him as an Ember Spirit player. When you watch it, it seems so simple, but actually there's a lot of potential to get picked off. You need to know the exact timings of, you know, how much time to spend in a lane, how many people see on the map before you jump away.
Just so nice having that blink as well to make things a bit easier. Now you can remnant out, blink in, and make the slides happen, and then still be able to jump back. Now they try to make a commit to go into FATA, but it's quick canceled as they turn back for high. Stolen Fiends, grab a taste of your own medicine, going to be thrown right back his way, but Kuro now eating the hefty right click, a raise to fly through, and Weeha's going to get that kill. Envy has made his appearance known now, TPing in. The curse is going to be out for Puppey, and now FATA and company are in a bit of trouble here. Oh man, Envy now just slaughtering it home with the sleight of fist. He has begun to make his move now onto MATUMBAMAN, who is one of the lone survivors here. They don't have quite enough catch here, but Envy's looking to move in. No chains yet. Has it now. MATUMBAMAN's going to be going down. Doppelganger attempting to make his way on through. Mind control. Oh, they both go down. 5-man wipe for Liquid. Secret lose only their Bane.
Radiant's top tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
and EternaLEnVy is, I think, beyond godlike now. Looking pretty good. He definitely got the godlike in that fight. I wasn't sure if it was the beyond. Not really a big deal. Feels like it's academic now for the rest of the game.
Radiant's top tower
It's
is under attack.
not a lot to see over here.
Liquid could even be already, you know, thinking about game number 3 and what to get ready for here, but it's looking like a secret game through and through. Maybe one more possible hurrah here coming out from Liquid in about 20 seconds time. They still need another 20 on top of that though for MATUMBAMAN. And Envy's already made his move, and before he can even see what the hell's actually happening, JerAx goes down just after these racks will be soon to follow. And we'll see if Secret just will keep the party going and go for a tier 2 mid.
Bane and Winter Wyvern both have their ultis back up now, so it's just, yeah, I don't know what needs to happen for Liquid to win a fight here. Even with the high ground advantage, even if their whole team's alive, which they aren't going to be.
Cheeky plays to kind of hold FATA back, but the glyph will be forced out as their tier 3 is in jeopardy here in the mid lane. MATUMBAMAN now back in action here. Doppelganger forward. Secret, will they play it safe? Looks like they may. They'll just pull back. They're not looking to engage any longer here. Weeha's got his precious Satanic now. Step back, itemize a bit further here. I mean, Envy's almost near 5k, no big deal. And, you know, Liquid, it's beginning to be do or die at this point for them.
Yeah, it's one way to make sure you don't screw up when you're going high ground. Just like don't go high ground. Like I'm pretty sure Secret are strong enough to do it, but there's no pressure on them to do it. It's not like things are getting worse. You can wait for another rush. There's nothing that Liquid can do about it. If they want to contest rush, then they're having a fight away from their high ground, and that's a fight you're definitely gonna win.
And what's at stake here is, you know, Secret already started off their group stage run dropping a series 0-2 to Vega. That was yesterday, but they know they really need a win here against Liquid. Liquid also down a series, down 2 series. So a loss here, and I mean, they're definitely going to be out, unfortunately, if Star Series runs. So it's a very important game for them. And Secret obviously don't want to be caught in the kind of same situation being down 2. So I don't know. Looking a bit grim here for Liquid fans. We'll see if they'll be able to hold out again. Still always have the vacuum wall factor. MATUMBAMAN does continue to farm. He already had that heart. He has Manta, Diffusal. You know, could afford to get a little bit more, but I don't think the time's going to be given.
I wonder if they actually weren't even waiting for us. They just wanted Puppey to finish Lotus Orb, because all that single focus that was a potential to control EternaLEnVy now, Lotus Orb's going to protect him from it.
Ooh, Envy does miss the chain setup there. The rest of them decide to go instead for FATA. It looks like they are going to be able to take him down. And there you can see JerAx now possibly going to be caught out. They look to move back in. They commit in the curse and everything, and this looks like to be the beginning of the end. Kuro, a respectable Sonic wave, but not going to be enough to finish anyone off. One goes down. Kuro then follows. Buyback going to have to be used here from FATA, but he comes back to death and destruction here, one by one. They try to sneak in. Now FATA finds himself asleep. Secret do their job, and now they turn around and just simply walk away. Not looking for the closeout yet. Oh, MATUMBAMAN actually commits in. They're looking to go for him here. Shivas to pop out from Misery. They're going to be able to isolate him. Backing back from Mind Control, but doesn't seem to matter too much. MATUMBAMAN, ooh, Glimmer Cape. Going to make him back it away here. But this is Secret's fight. They're looking to muscle on through. Liquid valiant effort, but nonetheless, Scant, it's going to be the same outcome.
Yeah, I think the last pick Timbersaw was really good by Secret in this game. Because you got to think that Liquid's plan was to win the game reasonably early. Capitalize on the fact that the PL can actually be very useful early on and push with that Viper. But with the Timbersaw, we saw as soon as Liquid started pushing early on, the Timbersaw was just holding them back. Then it became a farming game, and then as soon as it became a farming game, I feel like it became Secret's game.
And, you know, gotta give credit where it's due. You know, I went into it thinking that maybe Secret's intention was to definitely get that Magnus, which had been banned out, and they just kind of, I don't want to say as far as settled, but they just landed on a Timbersaw, something we don't get to see Misery play very often. And he did his job.
Well,
and
Mag
would
would have been hard to push into as well. So either way, it's, I mean, makes sense as a ban there too.
Yeah. Well, as it stands, an exhausting game number 2, but it is going to be game 3 hype. 2 straight back-to-back best of 3s going the whole game 3 stretch here. Very important matches as they stand. Secret even things up, so we'll go ahead and cut to a small break, and when we get back, it'll be game number 3. I'm KotlGuy, that's Scantsor, and it'll be Liquid versus Secret. See you soon. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and it is time for Game 3 hype of Team Secret going against Team Liquid here in Star Series Season 13, the Star Ladder / iLeague production here, making our way towards that land. I always want to say land final, but that intro video, Scant, throws me off. The LAN final, right? Haven't you heard? Got to get to that LAN final where the real Dota happens. But here we are now, already bands underway. Scant, obviously, welcome back here. It's been a dramatic turn of events as Secret got their Ember lineup and they were able to kind of take it home. Liquid were not able to do what we saw in Game 1 and couldn't come together. Just at that point, Secret starved them out a bit too much, and after 2 significant fights, there really was no coming back. And now we have to see what the game plan is going to be for game number 3.
Yeah, I just want to see Liquid with a clear and coherent game plan, because in the previous game it did feel like their game plan was a bit all over the place. They weren't completely committed to one way or the other, and I think they got punished for it. They have taken the Ember Spirit out this game, which is definitely, I would say, EternaLEnVy's best hero at playing that kind of farming, inevitable win game. But even so, I want to see them coming with their own solid, clear, thought-out approach to what they want to do this game, because that's what they had in the first game worked really well for them.
Yeah, nobody wants to play a draft where it's like they just keep responding to their opponent, like adjusting and trying to make it work. You want to be able to dictate your own kind of game. And, well, with these kind of respect bans coming out from Liquid now, getting rid of the Meepo, no one wants to go against a highly skilled Meepo player. You don't have much practice against it, obviously, and you're probably not going to fare too well. Even when you think you have a better match on paper, sometimes you just never know. And like you already mentioned, got to get rid of that Ember. This leaves out great options now, and Liquid find value in what options are left. The most value in snagging up that Darkseer, which, can you really blame him? Mind Control is easily like his best freaking hero. He's really good on it. But that also means that Secret can grab up the Wyvern now, and still, fruitful options out there. I don't know if Undying is something for them to quickly snag up, and Scant, we still don't see them go back for that Slardar. They're really just kind of past that phase. They're done. Yeah,
looks like they just, I don't know if it's because they like perfected playing the hero and don't feel like they need to practice it anymore, or maybe they really just don't want to play it anymore. But yeah, no Slardar, and last game we forgot about the Shadow Fiend until they picked it in the second phase. They might be considering that here. There's also the Dazzle, which Team Liquid banned in the first phase, either last game or the game before. I think they banned Meepo Doom, Meepo Dazzle, and then Meepo Ember, and it's gonna be the Wyvern Bane starter just yet again. And I mean, you can see why. These are 2 supports that do really well in the lane to zone enemies, to, you know, just control the lanes, but they also scale very well into the late game because Wyvern can control the lanes, just pushing things back, and always save people. They both got ultis that go through BKB, that kind of control elements. So I think if you're going to start with 2 supports, there's hardly a better pair.
Yeah, I mean, and it also doesn't give a lot as far as really how you're going to dictate the game. It's just a couple of supports. This does leave options that maybe Liquid could creep something in that Bane and Wyvern may not have an answer to. I wouldn't mind seeing like a return of the Ancient Apparition. It's been kind of ignored at the start a bit here. It could be pretty valuable against a Winter Wyvern for its sustained capability, and we know Cold Feet to be very good now with its buffed up range. Could even help against a pesky Bane trying to get off a Fiend's Grip. But They step off from that and they go back to the old tried and true here for Liquid and what seems to work as they get their gyrocopter here for Mr. MATUMBAMAN. And all that's missing is for FATA to grab up a Razor / Viper, and we're really set now.
Yeah, Doxia and Jaro are like their two go-to heroes, and as you say, for FATA to get one of his mains in addition would be like just classic Team Liquid. Why not? Game 3 of a series, remaining. Just go back to what you're sure about. I said I wanted to make sure that I want for Liquid to have a clear plan and approach to the game, and definitely doing the thing that you're used to doing the most.
Clear.
It's going to do that.
They're like, we're going with what works? ? Unfortunately, Liquid have yet to get a win in Star Series, so if this is the plan, they're going to keep chugging home. I don't know. It's something that I'm sure Secret's a great team that's able to adapt on the fly. Game number 1, they kind of, I don't know, they did some awkward thing with an early pick on a Huskar and stuff, but they go back to a Secret kind of style draft, and the tables turned so dramatically here. I'm very anxious to see if Liquid do try to change it up any sort of bit. Secret, though, not having much of it, they do still have respect towards JerAx and his presence in that Night Stalker game 1. I'm sure Liquid would have loved to have snagged that up. And they also put ban onto the Undying. Liquid rid of the Shadow Fiend and the Wind Ranger here. I threw it out a couple of times, but I never see it pop up. And Scant, I'm going to throw it again now just in case it's actually gone for. But I wouldn't mind Liquid getting something like maybe a JerAx, a roaming Spirit Breaker. I think it could fare well. But again, you're going against a Bane and a Wyvern. Bane and Wyvern, I guess, are really good at stopping him. So,
I mean, it does land well with the Doxia. So there's arguments for and against. I just think it's interesting that Secret sticks to that Night Stalker ban second phase. Each time Liquid won't first phase pick it, and Secret very happy to second phase ban it. And it's the difference between game 1 and 2 for me. That in game 1, if you look at the approach that Secret took to game 2, they couldn't do that if there was a Night Stalker. You can't just play that like passive split up, don't worry about anything if there's a Night Stalker. Whereas in game 2, they very easily could do it because the Night Stalker was banned out, and again the Night Stalker is going to be banned out. And to me, it's like a signal that Secret's already like one step closer to their comfort zone, that they won't have to deal with that super fast, super intense vision tempo controller.
I'm curious to see now what Secret want to go for here, if they want to put emphasis into the Misery Hero or if they're going to grab what's left for Wii. A lot of his options are being taken away here. Still has shown that he can pull out the likes of, like a Tiny even mid lane if necessary, but now he doesn't have the Wind Ranger, and we're going to get an Invoker. So an early Invoker grab right now. Confident one.
Yeah, I think that I come from the school of thought that Weehaw is just a generally good player. It's so often that players come to be defined by specific heroes, and then we sort of help ourselves to the assumption that those are the heroes they play. And a lot of the time, I think it's just a team that's decided these are the best heroes for that role. Sometimes it is that the player's hero pool is limited, but it's tough for us to tell. I think from watching Weehaw, but long before he played in the Secret, just in BBC and stuff, that sure he was known for Meepo, but he can play lots of stuff. And Invoker is certainly one of the heroes he can play. Also a very popular hero in the current meta. I wonder if he might consider the Exort move just because they do have some setup for him with that Nightmare, especially early on.
Yeah. But
usually it is the Quaswex these days.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of high tempo, quick action invokers getting up even the early, like Yule's Scepter if necessary, but we'll see. Response from Liquid for now, though, is grabbing up the Witch Doctor here, and it still kind of follows along with the same game plan we know Liquid to do. They already have their mech candidate and someone like a Darkseer. Eventually, Gyrocopter is going to want to come online and, dish out that first call down, and at that point, maybe just push forward with objectives. Witch Doctor offers the sustain necessary with that Voodoo Restoration, so, and obviously he scales beautifully with the Death Ward later on and get him in Agams and stuff, but just seems according to plan here for Liquid on what they generally want to do.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it fits with the classic Liquid approach. But again, I can't overemphasize the fact that I think game 1, Liquid win the game, and it's not just about them following their regular approach, it's also that they have that Night Stalker to have control of the map, and if they don't find something else to perform a similar role, I think it's probably a bit too easy for Secret to just adjust, stop them from taking the, snowballing in the way that they want to. And sure, we don't actually know what Secret's EternaLEnVy hero is yet, but in all likelihood, it's not even about the heroes. The analysis that we had last game about Secret doing better the later the game goes is probably just true of the matchup in general.
And if, I was gonna say, and it's obvious now they grab up the Razor, but it's like if you needed someone to fill the same role that they could maintain control of the map and have better vision, and it's something I always was like kind of pleading out for, or in hopes of seeing, even through Nanyang, was FATA pulling out that
You control him on the side of Liquid. But they're gonna ban it.
They get it banned. But where he doesn't do that, he could do something like a Spectre or I don't know, a Luna. Like what kind of other hardcore farmer could they get here? Maybe pose a threat in a bit of a team fight. Bounty Hunter players like Pi and maybe even FY, they've still kind of kept up the Bounty Hunter trend, but JerAx hasn't really. So I'm just trying to think outside of that what kind of fits the JerAx profile here.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I'm sort of expecting strange. Well, that's strange enough. It's a hero that they do run, but it's very rare to see Liquid run like two sort of very like simple, straightforward support heroes. They usually have one that is and one that isn't.
The old behind the back ball play here, literally pulling out the wisp at the end. Yeah, everyone forgot about that guy. I don't even, maybe even Liquid did, and they're just kind of like, oh, that's an option. Yeah. Possibly, but has his tandem partner in Gyrocopter, and yeah, this will be fun.
He fits their strategy. I mean, the whole like group up and be difficult to kill, like threaten to have a. You go on Razor or Gyro, there's Witch Doctor and Wisp to save, and there's the Darkseer to wombo you. It's basically classic Liquid right here.
I'm just not sure how easy a time the Wisp is going to have to stick with his partner and stuff. Gyrocopter is a big BKB candidate as it is. At that point, things become a bit difficult. You have Sleep there to stop you. Hell, you're doing it into a freaking Winter Wyvern. That's almost a free, easy curse setup at that point. And if Wee does decide to go Quas Wex, he obviously has Tornado and stuff. So I feel like this may be a pretty difficult game for the Wisp, but it's Kuro Wisp, and this guy he plays a mean Wisp. So if anyone can do it, this guy can do it.
Yeah, Secret actually you're right. They have brilliant heroes against Wisp. Difficult for the Wisp to relocate onto people. Difficult for it to save people as well. But if the Wisp is just being used to kind of like provide fuel to the push, then I think it's gonna be fine. If it's a Wisp for like a slow late game split push or an early game relocate ganking, neither of those things are going to work really that well against Secret's lineup.
What do you think then, how they're going to lane the Wisp? Is this a safe lane kind of a Wisp? Is he hanging around the mid lane building stacks on the side for maybe Gyrocopter or someone to eventually farm up? And thinking about that, is it going to make for an easier time for someone like Misery to just suddenly get to his level 6 that much faster?
Yeah, I think one of the supports, either the Wisp or the Witch Doctor, probably the Wisp, will sit at the mid lane a bit at the start, just like keeping their A's up and making stacks. After that point, I'm not too sure. It's so rare these days that we don't see a 2v2 at the start of the game in the mid lane. It's like almost every game.
Yeah. Except for like my pubs, that stuff doesn't really happen. That's for sure. But it's definitely something I'm sure a lot of mid players always find a bit infuriating when they have to. They're coming in with a job at hand. They're expecting a head-to-head, and the next thing you know, you got a Bane who's just kind of farting around, and you used to be like pot him arrows all the time, and now you got this in your face. It's very frustrating. And after a team experiences it, they know that there's a big advantage to having it, and next thing you know, that team incorporates it, and it just spreads like wildfire. But Secret?
Look at Secrets. They're deep behind enemy lines, hoping to find someone on their own here, coming for the block. Maybe they think one of the support heroes will come do the creep block while the rest of the team's at the rune. But it doesn't look likely to happen.
Yeah, they commit deep for this one, but they're not going to get anything from it. They have 2 still at the bottom rune here, so I wonder if they might have to forfeit. Okay, it looks like it'll just be the 1-1 split apart. FATA will be able to pick up the bottom rune. Top rune is going to go and get snagged up from Wee, and we are off to our races here. It's game number 3 of Liquid going against Secret. KotlGuy, that's Scant, and this is a very important match for both of these teams. Liquid on the verge of easily being shut out from the series altogether. A loss here makes 3 straight series losses for them. Secret already down 1 series, and what many might consider a bit of an upset, but Vega were able to take them down 2-0, so they need a series win here to get themselves back towards the top. And we'll see if they're going to be able to do it, and indeed, dual lanes will begin here. And one of the worst of them is the Wyvern, the pesky Wyvern, man. That Arctic Burn, As you can see,
Korea. Oh, Wyvern sometimes with Arctic Burn can just kill that Korea as it runs in.
oh yeah,
But I guess wanting to get away from the static link.
it does force out the static link, I suppose, and we can feel a bit more comfortable in the lane, not worrying about it. But Puppey will take his business now towards the top lane, where there is mind control, but mind control is already level 2, has the surge, will be able to step out and away from trouble. He'll be dealing with the tri-lane setup here. And then we were talking about it before. Kuro is going to be the one, and he actually, did he do the mid lane pull? He did the mid lane pull. He has the troll camp, and he is now denying farm from Weehaw. He does it again. He did it. He got the nice pull there. The auto attack hit him at the perfect moment, so the creeps are going to get pissed off. And now they run over, and it's another wave down.
Taking a page out of Puppey's book with the tiny pools, now going for the wisp pools in the mid lane, and it's actually a strange thing when you think about it that mid pools are not more popular. Something that used to happen a lot, pulling to the ancients when Earthshake used to be able to do that, and there are a few other heroes it used to be easier to do. At some point they made it difficult to do mid pools, but there's still a few that work pretty consistently if you get the timing right. He's gonna go for it again. Doesn't get it the third time, but
Yeah.
2 successful pulls is pretty significant.
Yeah, normally, you know, and it's the obvious thing about it, at least with Wisp here, is you can only do it if you get that troll camp. He's the only one that provides the long range attack, so you can have it follow you. So you can follow him following this little hustle breakout at the top of the river here between Mind Control and company. He really wants his 2-minute rune. He's going to grab it, but will he pay his life for it? He's got the surge, and he is out of there. And conveniently has a salve to back up. But yeah, you can only do it with the troll camp. And as you can see, Kuro's going to be able to do it again. Now has a backup stack for it, so the party will continue here. But, you know, had that not been a troll camp, it would have been any other camp. He would have had to either stack and hope for it thereafter, or would not have been able to do it at all. So it's also convenience for RNG.
Can this small range SATA not, does not work with that? I feel like maybe it could. I'm not sure, because I don't know, because it stands at the back.
Pretty positive it does not. It definitely does not work. I've done it myself at least a couple of times. It's one of the few things at least I know about. And, yeah, luckily for him, it's working out very, very well. And I'm curious what's going through Weehaw's brain right now. He's level 2, barely pushing to level 3. Guess what level FATA is? He's freaking level 4, man. He's getting closer to level 5.
Well, they're gonna kill Misery.
Yes, they will. Caught him out. He gets a stun right off in time, but that flat cannon will kick in and help finish him off. But MATUMBAMAN conveniently has a rocket barrage, and he could have 2 kills in his hands, and it looks like he will. He gets that one, and all at the same moment, Weehaw also goes down in the mid lane to the hands of FATA, who is grossly more farmed and bigger. Plus, with the help of Kuro, this is a mighty fine start right now for Team Liquid.
Yeah, 3rd game in a row. Team Liquid start with a bunch of kills, and it's interesting because I was saying I've cast them a bunch recently, and they've been having poor starts. So it definitely fixed that problem. The lane stage has been starting really well in all of the games in this series.
And MATUMBAMAN getting his own kill, going great there. FATA mid. Witch Doctor goes down, but obviously it looks like it was the express trip back to the fountain. Mind Control is up in arms a little bit. You know, it's a hard game for him. He has managed to snaggle in about 8 CS for himself, but still only level 3. But overall, this is a very promising start for Liquid. This has crippled Weehaw a lot, man. And Invoker is not one to go back and just, you know, take stacks in the jungle to catch up. So he needs to find a way to get on the recovery path, you know, fast.
Yeah, definitely true. And Weeha's also a player that isn't used to playing after like a difficult lane stage. He usually does reasonably well. He hardly ever like completely stomps his lane, but he usually does alright.
Ooh. They try to commit and get another kill onto Wee here, but Pi in the neighborhood forces them to second guess. Weehaw will get the salve and go back okay, but he knows that Kuro is just still somewhere around and just does not feel comfortable here at all. Pi's around, but Pi is only level 1, man. He can't offer a whole lot. He only has sap. He can't even sleep yet. I thought maybe they could actually make it go there. JerAx was actually around. He didn't throw out a coconut. I thought they maybe could have gone on secret there, but we'll wait.
It is the Exort Invoker though, so we will see some Sunstrike possibilities in this game, combining with the next stun or the Bane Sleep or the Fiend's Grip. Although at this rate they're going to be under-leveled Sunstrikes for a while, because he is level 4 in Invoker while Fata's Raze is level 6 at this point.
Oh my God, he just does it again. See, normally by now I would not have to do it anymore. I figured the advantage was good enough, but he just continues to make sure Weehaw is punished here. And we'll just pull another camp. And obviously it's great for him. He gets the solo time to farm up XP, and he has a bottle for now, but I'm sure he's going to look to rush into, you know, probably Urn. And it's just continues to go very well for him. Weeha's actually forced to try to attempt any sort of jungle setup right now.
Yeah, it's pretty much the dream for your Wisp. Like, staying near the mid to help if you need, helping the lane passively, also helping yourself. Just getting everything you could possibly want to be done. And Weeha has tried to just retreat to the jungle, despite being an invoker that doesn't farm the jungle that quickly. And I mean, he's got to do what he's got to do.
Oh man, Puppey is able to snag up that bounty rune. And they step back and away, but you know, they have this nice ward as well, so they see Weehaw make the transition to the jungle, and FATA was in there trying to, you know, peep around a bit, but Weehaw had already stepped out. But that's just Weehaw still being in a bit of a struggle here, still trying to approach his level 5 mark. FATA about to hit level 7 right here and now. They need some assistance here. Pie's stepping in like he wants to do something to get off of sleep. There's already a TP rotation in. Misery should be there in time for the stun. Will land it. This is big. Weehaw certainly needs it, but help is on the way in the form of JerAx. A nice coconut will slow them back. Weehaw very low. Oh my goodness, 12 life. Whew. FATA though able to creep in, gets the weak pieliedie. Tether is out now from Kuro, and they're going to go on the move, and they are going to turn this around into a nice double takedown. Boom. FATA picks them both up. Liquid pull well in ahead. 5 and oh, Sunstrike able to connect. Nice little work right there.
Such an important Sunstrike. Like, really needed to get something out of that. It's so familiar from last game as well. The first time they tried to gang FATA's Viper, and we were like, you really need to be careful going for Viper. And Razor's kind of similar, especially when there's a Wisp to protect him. It's even more scary. But really excellent of Weehaw to make sure he gets the Sunstrike and get something out of that trade. Get something quite big, actually. Because FATA was super leveled and farmed at that stage.
Still nice, though.
Speaking of farm, EternaLEnVy is actually getting pretty good farm. That's something that's going well for Secret here.
Yeah, that's the thing. Haven't really noticed much about the Jug, but where that means is that he is farming up somewhere and pushing on. You know, I talked about it a bit, I believe, in the first series today. It was a load of playing the Jug, and sometimes you just know you accept the fact that you're not going to be super effective at the start. Level 1 Omni Slash isn't anything to brag about right here, so you're just going to take the time to continue to farm up even faster. And he's doing a similar build to like what we saw from Loda. Loda took the time out to get out the drums. Envy's going to be going for what looks like straight towards the Battle Fury here. So very farm intensive build here for this Jug.
Yeah, and as I said, he's going to have all the space in the world to farm the map this game. And his team's going to provide lots of control, so straight into scaling makes perfect sense. And if we get that late game scenario, it will favor Secret Party because they like playing that late game well. Weehaw is being chased down, but there's nothing ready to catch him.
Yeah, they lack a little bit in the stun department. You know, and Coconut could be pretty RNG based, and if not in the right positions, not going to do a whole lot of work. So that is where they lack a little bit. But they still, the punishment already came in. Weehaw is finally able to get to his level 6 here. It's pretty low at the time, but they also have MATUMBAMAN, who had not been participating a whole lot, and he's been dedicated to his own bit of farm. He actually still tops Envy as far as farming goes in net worth. He has his phase boots already on hand, and you know, wager he could just keep going down his typical MATUMBAMAN cookie cutter buildup. That could be a bit of trouble here for Secret. I mean, there's still a liquid draft after all. Someone's going to get a mech soon, and then they're going to come together and try to make plays.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, the concern for them is just that there's actually every hero except for EternaLEnVy on Secret is pretty well kitted to like throw out some dangerous spells early on in the game. And that's what you want to do with a group up as 5 with mech strategy. Just lots of like strong early spells, and they've got them.
This looks like an easy tier 1 right now for Liquid. Check that one off the list right now as they continue to just follow through with the plan at hand. Oh, looking for opportunities here. FATA, though, still not quite fast enough. That's where you love to get that S and Y, that juicy move speed from something like that. Yasha could be the ticket. But for now, they're just going to be able to scurry Secret out from their own woods, take that farm for themselves, and continue to limit the options here for Secret. Next, I'm sure, is maybe even having a go at this top tier 1 tower, where My Control has still been up here farming very nicely with straight arcane, so looks like he's not in a full rush for the mech quite yet. Does have the
Yeah,
farm,
he's taking his time to get there. But I'm interested to see what the approach from Liquid will be to do with EternaLEnVy. Like, are they just gonna
Radiant's
get their
bottom
build up
tower
and then
is
start
under attack.
pushing? Do they try like actively directly shut him down? Or he senses some danger here and just does the spin TP out? But they don't, I mean, they really aren't well kitted to stop him farming. I almost feel like EternaLEnVy could play this game as if he's an Ember Spirit and just split push, occasionally like take heed of where the enemies are positioned, TP somewhere else. And if the game lasts long enough, he's gonna get all the farm in the world.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Top lane now in trouble. Liquid should be able to take this one down. So you're looking for their own trade. Looks like they scouted out Kuro. They get the stun. The sleep, though, throws them off a bit. Now with the rotation in from JerAx, pieliedie will be going down. And a freebie will be handed over to Liquid. And it looks like the tier 1 is going to be coming along with it. And look at that. They're still making chase here. Looking to make a go onto Misery. And Misery also going to be paying the price here. FATA picks that one up.
Sweet. Didn't even cost his carapace there. I mean, I'm not sure if he would have gotten away, but he like tried to stun, cancel it, and ended up going down.
Top lane, relocate. The party now joins the top lane battle. They're going to get MATUMBAMAN there at the end, but FATA may be able to clean up and redeem him. Envy on the spin getaway. Pi should put him to sleep. And it should be able to walk out. And Kuro, obviously at the end of his relocate, will be sent all the way back. And it looks like Secret are going to make it out without any more casualties. They did get MATUMBAMAN down. And how much did it cost them? They lost Wee, they lost Puppey, they lost Pi.
Yeah, it's a pretty big win for Liquid around the map. But it is EternaLEnVy who got the kill there and managed to get out as well. And he's going to continue to scale. And again, if you have to compare, I do feel like the setup draft-wise is closer to game 2 than it was to game 1. Liquid then again are doing a bit better than they were in game 2.
Oh man, that's unfortunate. Misery happens to creep on through, but it creeps right over a sentry ward while he is in Vendetta, and they just as fast get a hold of him there. He will go down, and Liquid showing that nowhere is safe. We are in your woods.
Yeah, they continue to keep up the momentum, which is important. This is something, there were gaps in their momentum in the previous game, and they're actually flying through it here.
Yes, they are. Look at this. Even Kuro with the haste room, just kind of really looking to get in the face here of Puppey. The last little spirit bomb he can get forces him all the way back. And Liquid just kind of flexing their pecs right now. Top lane, they're going to get some early damage here on this tier 2. Envy, you know, Omni Slash on cooldown. I didn't even notice him really use it. Probably slipped my mind here, but he's still got to wait out.
It was when they killed. When they killed MATUMBAMAN. That's when he used it.
Now Puppey rotating in. They get the sleep on MATUMBAMAN here. Puppey with the curse might be forced to use it right here and now. They're waiting for it here. The mech. And now the call down. They're not going to commit in for the curse or anything. Misery though. Pops walks in, gets the carapace off, and now MATUMBAMAN looking to retreat away. But now FATA showed up, and Secret may have gone in a bit too long and far. JerAx going to be in as well. Commits in the death ward. MATUMBAMAN is going to be going down to the back into that curse, but look at the death ward go, baby! It just takes down Nyx Assassin. Misery's going to drop. Envy also went down. It's a 3-for-1 trade. And look at Liquid. The top lane now able to pressure this tier 2 tower. Oh no, Weehaw peeps his head in the door. JerAx got a cast waiting for him here, and look at this. Back from the dead, Envy buyback now, looking to kind of redeem himself and make it worth. But he hasn't found anything yet. And JerAx might be something. He has nothing except for 9 charges on a wand. He's already bought out.
Yeah, he's dead.
Tell my mother I love her. They don't go for him. He's going to be making it away. It was a buyback for nothing. Oh boy.
I guess the tower's pretty close. There is a TP coming in. They knew the Razor was still there, so if they wanted to commit to the kill, they definitely kill Witch Doctor, but who knows if they get out alive or not. But it's looking bleak for Team Secrets, and sign of the times is the net worth and the level of pieliedie. I noticed in that last fight, he's, I mean, level 4.
It's a hard life. Things really got thrown off.
If they had the Fiend's grip, it would have been really easy early on in that fight to just like make the initial kill. But not even close.
And Nora is really safe at this point. They're thinking about making a go here on the mind control, who could be caught out mid lane. Misery is already
Dire's top
in
tower
Vendetta
has
here.
fallen.
Kind of in pursuit, but oh, he sees the courier.
Radiant's
Yeah.
courier has been killed.
Got it. Very nice.
Dire's
But
middle tower
Liquid
is under
probably not going to be too
attack.
faulted by that one. They know Vendetta's down. They know where the Nyx Assassin is, and it's time to take more money. They're going to go right for the tier 2 mid. Could follow it up with a tier 2 bottom lane. Roche already up. It's probably on the agenda here for Liquid soon.
It was, by the way, a Quas Works Invoker after all. He started with that Exort point just to have the alacrity for
Dire's
lane.
structures are
Had
fortified.
Sunstrike early on, but it is a Quas Works Invoker, and that will help Secret to stall the game quite substantially, I think. When the time comes and they need to, the EMP Tornado Deafening Blast, pretty good at defending with.
Uh-oh, bottom lane, they scouted Envy. They're relocating in for it, but Envy is already out the side door. But JerAx has spotted him out. He's trying to sidestep and avoid an Omni Slash, but Envy don't care
He
about
can
that.
spin TP.
He's looking to get out of here, and he's like, chase me. He's gone.
He's wasting his time. They have nothing to stop him just using spin and TP, so he's just gonna hang around.
And now Liquid going right back down. Tier 2. In trouble, bottom lane. Secret don't have much of an answer for it right now. Envy is, going to be caught out here. Now, will he spin TP? Will he spin TP? Will he fight? He will spin. He will TP. And he will peace out. Now, the rest of Liquid, though,
Yeah, he
we're
really-
able to move forward and get that tier 2.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
EternaLEnVy wasn't sure what to do there. Should he like creep cut, hope to pick off a support, or and then just has to do the spin TP? It's a bit of an awkward position. He would, if he had his Battle Fury right now, I'd say Secret are in not too bad a position to come back. But with that 10k lead and with the Battle Fury still not even there, in fact, he's one whole component away from it.
Yeah,
It's gonna require Secret
buyback
having
cost him a bit. Definitely set it off
Yeah.
the agenda for a while, but he's well on the way to getting it. But we just gotta help but wonder. You know, things keep going according to plan for Liquid. It may be just a bit too late. It's one step, one farming tool to trying to be a problem later into the game. But Liquid are like, hey, this is our prime time right now. We're about ready to go. SMY is actually already finished from MATUMBAMAN. He just needs to get it into his pocket. JerAx is double bracers. That's a bit weird, but hey, he's got a lot of life. And they're just ready to roll through. Top lane, maybe their next target here. We and Puppey are nearby. Puppey says, I'm not going to risk it. Neither will we.
Radiant's bottom tower
Well, in the
is
meantime,
under attack.
good news. Pilot just got his level 6 in the mid lane, so that just about doubles his utility to the next fight. And I think it is only really one
Radiant's
fight. I
bottom
think if
tower
Secret
is
take a
under
big
attack.
fight, then they're looking healthy again. But because the battle free is so delayed, it probably does require at least a fight at some point. I don't think they can just flatly farm their way back into the game.
Misery is spotted out where mind control is, so Secret have an idea as far as what Liquid are up to at this moment here, but they're feeling confident, maybe committing in. Ooh, Misery swinging a miss on the stun, and now Envy pops in. They already popped the mech. No one's going to be going down from the Omni. JerAx is going to be alive and well, and Envy is forced to evacuate. Will be TPing out. A misfire here for Secret. They're on the run. The first rocket's going to connect on Puppey. Puppey, a weak and wounded dragon, will cold embrace, but it's not going to be enough. Gyro surges through. The sleep comes, but it's a moment too late to save Captain Puppey. He will be going down the first
And Pilot
sacrifice
die.
here.
Dire's top tower
Considering
is
the
under
Fiend's grip
attack.
on Gyro there, but there would just be no backup. Deciding to keep it. That's
Liquid.
the ping on the rush bit from FATA.
Yeah, it looks like they find something else of value to go for here. Well, we'll take the jungle farm
Yeah,
with
they
them
don't
on
have-
the way out, I guess.
They don't have the best rushing lineup. They can definitely take rush. Won't be that quick. There's no medallion or anything like that. The damage is alright.
I think Secret assume that they are in there doing it, and maybe if they're not doing it, they're gonna do it, and they do. They sneak in there and they're like, "Let's do it! Go, go, go! Go, go, go!"
This is a classic Secret strategy, classic EternaLEnVy really, in all the teams he's been in. There's always sneaky rushes going on. And I think that
Dire's
actually
top
Liquid know.
tower is under
Yeah.
attack.
Oh, this could be the
It's
nail
too
in the
classic.
coffin. MATUMBAMAN says, "How's it going, everybody?" Drops the call down. Misery's gonna carapace it off, but they put him to sleep and they say, "We gotta finish it now." They're not gonna be able to do it. Oh no! They move forward. They haven't been able to grab it yet. It is panic in there, but it is FATA who grabs it up, and Liquid just wiped the floor of Secret. And that might be it. Oh, man.
Man, what a panicked situation. As they realize that Liquid know, they just decide, okay, fine, we gotta finish rush, but you could kind of tell they didn't have quite enough time, and the commitment to the cause just kills them all. But I mean, I don't know if it would be any better to try to run out past them.
They have to buy back now. They're trying their best to zone and keep them at bay here, but Liquid are determined to at least walk out with one set of racks after a fight like that. But it is still pretty early on for Secret, as they have low death timers and already coming back into the fight. MATUMBAMAN going to be dishing off a call down right on top of Pi, who's not able to get a successful Fiend's Grip kill onto FATA. MATUMBAMAN, though, at risk of going down here, but Kuro here to save the day. The paramedic's going to be able to sweep in and help him on out, and it's going to be Wee to go down. He's down and out. 50 seconds, no buyback for him. Omni Slash, but they have come together and mitigated that damage. And Envy spinning and fleeing the hell out of there. But they are on pursuit. They're going to drop down the coconut. The ward, though, going to be able to keep them alive. But this is looking like Liquid's game. They turn back for what's important, and they're going to be going for this tier 3. Racks to fall soon after. MATUMBAMAN doesn't drop one bit. He ends up moving in there, and they get the kill on Envy, and he has to buy back his second one of the game.
Kuro's Wisp just overtook every hero on Team Secret and net worth. And it's fitting because he's done everything this game. He did the mid pools, he kept people alive when they tried to gank the Razor, he kept them alive. Now when the initiation happened, he was keeping them alive as well with all the healing and overcharging, and it's just, yeah, when the 4 position Wisp is richer than your whole team, it's nearly time to tap out, I think.
Puppey not looking to tap out yet, though. They're hoping for a promising engagement. Always look to the lighter side of things, that maybe there's going to be an opportunity for them. Well, I don't know. One more significant drop, and that may just very well be the game, and it could be now. Misery is going to be first caught out, and no, they commit for a curse. It will stop JerAx from his ward, but I don't think it's going to be enough damage here. Envy to fall, Puppey's down, and they have thrown in the towel. Secret will be going down. Liquid, a hard-fought match, and they are going to be walking away with the series 2-1. Secret are down 2 series in Star Series 13. Liquid finally get their first win.
What we could actually have, I believe, is a 3-way tie in this group, because Vegas Squadron beat everyone.
Yes.
And CIS Rejects beat Liquid. Liquid beats Secret, and tomorrow Secret and CIS Rejects will play each other. So if Secret wins that, then all 3 of them will have 1 win, and I guess there'll have to be more matches.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, that very well may be the case. We'll play it on the fly. I think it's as simple as that, but obviously I'm not the head admin on the issue, so we'll find out when that does approach. But congratulations one more for Liquid. They pull off a hell of a win, and I think it really does, Scant, stem all the way back to that Wisp, man. I mean, I don't know if it was an intention all along. You know, we can give Kuro the credit, you know, and be like, I just snuck in this Wisp, and I know what I'm going to do. And even if he's able to get in there and make that pull happen, which he did, like, what if that was not a troll camp? You know, what if they weren't able to do that and Wee was able to get all that farm? But to their convenience this time, they seriously neuter Wee in that mid lane, and outside of that, just Liquid just take over. Fight after fight.
You know what?
It's crazy.
There's a sense of sort of justice in it, with Secret winning a bunch of games with that tiny mid pool. So, like, sure, yes, the Wisp gets lucky with the camp spawning, but Secret gets to see what it feels like to have mid being pulled out from under them early on in the game.
It is rough stuff. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and wrap today up. It's been a long one at that, so I do appreciate everyone who stuck through all the way through the full best of 3s. Plus, we got to remember that crazy 80-minute fiesta. It's been a hell of a day, but we got to give shout out Scant. Thank you so much for joining me and co-casting. Any shout outs for you before we cut things up?
Shout out to you for casting with me a few times.
Thanks, man. No problem. I'm just glad to have someone who's eager to come in and cast. That always makes my day. So,
anytime, man.
Well, everyone else, if you missed any of the action, you can catch the VODs over on the Beyond the Summit YouTube channel. Otherwise, we'll catch you tomorrow for more Star Series action. This is KotlGuy. That's Scant. We're signing out. We'll see you tomorrow.